What is up, dudes, dudettes, and all my beautiful people of the interwebs? It is Saturday night, so you know what time it is. It is time to go beyond. Welcome to the United States of Smash with the Smash Podcast. I have to say, I'm absolutely excited about today's show. We got just a little bit of anime news. Things are kind of sparse right now, but enough to get you excited just because the new winter season for 2019 has kicked off. But for all of my comic fans out there, moviegoers, we have quite a bit of news to talk about and definitely some thought-provoking ones from everything that we've been discussing on the side. But before we get into these topics, I was like, I want to go ahead and introduce our usual panel of weebs. But before we get to them, I have to introduce our guest, blessing us from the round table, one of the lords himself. You know this man hides in plain sight, but you always find him. It's Lord Cognito. What's up with you, Cognito?
Yo, bloody, what's going on? Lords of the anime kings. What should I call y'all now? Y'all doing everything, man. Y'all doing movies. Y'all not just limited to one thing now. You know what I'm saying? Smash is like, it's growing, man. I love to see the progress. But thank you for having me. Huge fan of you guys. You already know. I love the genre. I love the lane that you boys are in. And we're gonna keep promoting this thing, man. Get you guys the way you need to be. So the Lord is here. Let's do this thing, man.
Thanks, Cognito. You know I love having you guys. I was like, you and David always coming out here and have and just spending time with us and just cutting up. It's always a fun time.
No doubt, you already know.
Always. Now to our usual panel here. We got our resident artist, our mastermind with the master plan over here, the man who never dies, Soul King himself.
Man, I'm just happy to be here, man.
I mean, if they heard about the technical difficulties, they understand why.
He's really happy to be here.
But I just want to get into the topics. It's a lot of comic book like topics, so I'm excited for that.
I know we got the king of comics here. So King is the king of comics, where I'm the king of anime. And right now we got our third panel member, the king of frauds, the man with no plan himself. Mr. Operation.
We're going to change that shit after this show.
What's up, y'all?
You not about that.
Yeah, about that. What's up, y'all? No, I've just been getting my anime on. I've started season 2 of Seven Deadly Sins. That's been lit so far. I finally finished Afro Samurai. I started Demon Wonderland as well. You know, of course, still in Detective Conan.
The manga, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I'm not touching anime.
All right.
Of course, Detective Conan, and then I'm still chugging away at Demon Wonderland.
Yeah, and he's working on it. I'll say this: we've been talking on the south side, so he's working on losing that King of Frauds title right now because he's finally stepping up his anime game. So he's not gonna hold that crown much longer.
It's just too much gaming going on, man. I'm back at Arkham Knight. It's too much.
Hey, you backed up by like almost a decade. You need to hurry up.
I know. I'm trying.
Well, seeing as you said that you actually made a schedule to work everything out.
Oh yeah, definitely. So I'm just trying to slowly hack away at everything I got going on right now, but just trying to finalize it.
Nice.
All right, that's what I'm talking about. But man, you know, like I said, a lot of good comic book and movie related news. So I know, Soul, you're absolutely excited about this. But before we get into that, because I want to have our guest here most definitely involved, I want to get out our quickest topic that he's not going to have that much to comment on. So that way he doesn't feel left out for the rest of the show.
Exposing my anime fraud status. Yes, let's go.
It's okay. It's okay. You already said that's Kai's job. I was like, that's not your stance.
Yeah, I gotta get Kai Boxer on the show, man. For real, I'm gonna push him to get on. Yeah, this is his lane.
Kai, we need you. I was like, I need you, bro.
Yeah, facts.
All right, but for us, the start of the winter season for 2019 has been a very big one because we got two shows that have been the most talked about for starting off in 2019. And the first one is a returning season for a show that a lot of people liked, coming from the man who created One Punch Man, and that is Mob Psycho 100. It dropped the first episode last Sunday, and I got to say, that first episode definitely kept the right feel from the first season, but definitely in one episode added so much depth and growth to Mob's character for what they want to do in season 2. I'm really looking forward to what they have going on, because before, Mob is an extraordinary character who lives in an extraordinary world who wants to be normal. And now they're actually giving him a little bit of chance to actually express more emotion than what we saw before. And I like it because of the fact that he's actually showing off his psychic powers and everything. And I'm just excited for what's going to come. Like that first episode really got me excited. What about you, Soul? How are you feeling from that first episode?
I just watched it. I watched it like earlier today. It was kind of slow paced, but I liked it. You're getting more backstory on the main character, especially with the scene, like just the scene where he was about to make a speech and stuff like that. It was hilarious.
Oh my god, that was
and
funny.
then even the beginning scene was really good. I don't know. I think this season is really going to surprise a lot of people, and it's going to be pretty good.
Think so? I really think so as well. Like I said, I was like, in one episode they added so much character growth for that one character. So to see what's going to be coming, I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too. I agree.
Up. What about you? You seen the first episode of season 2 yet?
I have not. I just started the first season like tonight.
Oh
so,
man, boy.
I'm behind. So by Sunday I'll be caught up. But
okay.
Like so far, just watching the show, I'm loving it so far. Like the art style and animation is dope. Like I expected that from it. The music though, I wasn't expecting to like as much as I am right now. Especially always see the rock
that opening theme.
Oh yeah, it's real good. Like I wasn't expecting to be that good, especially the closing as well. So far, it's pretty good so far. So I can't wait to dive in further into it.
Definitely. Like I said, it's the season that's coming up. I was like, I'm really looking forward to what's coming out of it. So we're definitely gonna see how it plays. And the second episode will go up tomorrow, probably around noontime here Central for US, because I believe it goes live at like 9 p.m. Saturday for 9 in the morning for Japan. So kind of figure out your time zones from there, people. But the biggest show that has made waves, been having everyone excited because we've gotten teases for it for a year with short trailers until they finally announced it fully back in December, was The Promised Neverland. Oh my god, that first episode. Exactly what I wanted from this show. People look at a show like this just like they saw with Madoka Magica, like they saw with Made in Abyss. They see cute characters, think it's going to be a happy-go-lucky kind of series. No.
Ooh, okay.
No.
I'm interested. You're piquing my interest. What's this?
All right. So to give a quick summary of this story is that The Promised Neverland is about a group of children who grew up together at an orphanage. There is 38 of them that are raised by their mother that they simply call Mama. And they're talked about once they hit the age of 12 that they'll be come and looked at by and taken away to a foster family and be shown the rest of the world. And it starts out with all the kids like excited on what they're gonna do when they join their foster family, what their hopes and dreams are gonna do, and that they're gonna write back and tell everyone of what's going on. And one day, when one of their sisters gets taken away to the foster family, she forgets a very precious item, and 3 of the older kids that are 11 out of all the children try to bring the gift back to her so that way she doesn't forget her family, only to find out everything that they knew was a lie.
Okay.
And the way that it goes from there, it goes dark in an instant and it does not stop. Like the first episode, the way that it stops, it has you all set up for what's going to happen next. If you've read, for those who are reading the manga, you already know what's coming. And even people who I know who read it said that the animation, the music, the tone, the setting, and everything,
the OST
perfect.
was just amazing. Just like when you've seen what happens, and like the music, it felt like you're watching a horror film. It was just amazing.
That's what's up.
But like the best way I can describe it, if I know a lot of Attack on Titan is more mainstream, and like the first episode of that is similar to Promised Neverland. Where you just think everything is just going to be all right and fine, and then it just goes straight down south.
It went left. Oh, it goes dark left. That's what I like.
Yeah, it goes
exactly.
left.
Woo,
And that's why I brought up the other two shows that I compared it to, which is Puella Magi Madoka Magica, which is Magical Girl Madoka, which talks about, if you know what magical girls are, it's girls who have special powers who go and save the world by doing the things that they do. You see that, you're like, oh, it's young, cute, magical girls saving the world, and you hear how they fight witches and all this. Well, the first time you see one of those girls in action, it goes left. And then when you find out the truth about the witches, it takes an even harder left. And then when you find out the whole aspect of the entire story, it goes so left that you don't even know where you are anymore.
Yeah. And like just to like put in like perspective, all these kids are like the oldest they are like 12 and younger. They go like younger. So the oldest is 12.
And you're watching these kids like messed up.
Making adult choices. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Okay.
Crazy.
I'm intrigued.
Oh yeah, trust me, it is definitely intriguing. It's the same reason why I like Made in Abyss, because I describe it to everyone. It's just a happy-go-lucky story about a bunch of kids going on a grand old adventure spelunking. And when people come back at me, they're like, "You lied." I was just like, "I did not. I just didn't say the whole truth." I was like, "I just didn't say the whole truth."
Nice. I like that. Those are the best. I actually love stuff like that. So I'm very interested. Give me that. What's that name again? Give me that name one time.
Promise Neverland.
Promise Neverland. Okay.
The Promise Neverland is the one that just started. I was like, the other two that we recommend is Madoka Magica.
Okay.
And I'll send that one to you in a message. And then the other one is Made in Abyss.
Okay. Yeah, give me that Promise Neverland first. I'm definitely want to know what's up with that. Oh, what's up, Dez? What's up, Drew? Okay. PBG in the house.
Hey, people. Hey, Ryuka. How you doing, Ryuka-chan?
That's what's up.
Oh, yeah. But I'm telling you, Promise Neverland, that first episode had me so excited for what's coming up. I was like, this season starting out is already going to show just how strong 2019 is going to be. And we all gushed last week about how strong of a year 2018 was. But 2019 is definitely already starting off right. And I'm looking forward to everything else that's about to start coming out here in the next week or so. Because these ones were the first ones to do.
We can't glance over Dororo. We can't glance over that. It's an anime that's on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
And it's created by the guy who made he made what was Astro Boy and many other anime.
Okay.
Oh, interesting.
And
I do love Astro Boy.
And like JD put me on it. He talked because I was talking about openings. He said like the opening for this anime is amazing. And I checked out the anime and it's crazy. It's basically about a samurai lord. He wants to become like the most well-known lord of all times.
Oh, you said lords and samurais? I'm in.
Yeah.
In.
So like, and then he
oh yeah, I was gonna say Cognito. You still haven't even watched the movie I told you, which was Sword of the Stranger.
I didn't even remember that one. I don't even remember that one. You said once y'all saying ninjas, lords, samurais, I'm in.
It's crazy because the guy makes like a deal with like demons, and the deal is basically he becomes the most well-known samurai lord, but in return he has to give up his firstborn son.
Oh damn!
And when his firstborn son is born, the demons strike it, and what happens is this kid is born with no skin, no limbs.
Oh.
He can't hear, he can't see, or anything like that. But like he goes on, like it gives you a time skip, and it shows you what this dude becomes. This kid becomes. It's crazy. The guy has he has samurai hands.
Okay.
It sounds like that series that was on Netflix where the kid's arm was taken and that the one that was made as a replacement is what allows him to use like a cursed sword. I can't remember the name of it. We talked about it a while back.
Imagine this guy has 2 samurai swords as arms. It's crazy.
He has samurai swords for arms. All right, that sounds legit. All right, well there you go, people. Y'all learning some new stuff every day. I was like, we got all of our people here showing off that good stuff right there. All right, but I'm just saying, man, these first 2 shows starting off the season already has me hyped, and I was like, everything gonna be starting tomorrow, and then the week after. 2019 is already off to a good start.
Nice.
Now, with that being said, I was like, we got some of the soft anime news out of the way. Now let's go ahead and hop into the comics so that way we have our guests really excited here. And we're gonna start off with the underdog, right? And Cognito, I have this one specifically for you because we talked about this on the 1-year anniversary, and your boy was going left against it so hard.
Yeah,
yeah, he was. Aquaman. That's right. You heard it right. Aquaman, the king of the sea, the man who rides around on fish all day. Yeah, no, he is the king for a reason, and he has proven that. Aquaman is on record to be able to break $1 billion. I don't know if it's been confirmed to have broken, but
it's at 988 mil.
Wow.
Yeah. As of last week, it had crossed $900 million. By the end of either this week or over the weekend, when they get the totals to next week, it will have passed $1 billion and will be one of DC's most successful movies. And now, when I say successful, I'm not talking about the revenue it made, because Batman versus Superman did fairly well. So did Man of Steel. And of course, Justice League also did high numbers. However, while they did have high revenue and profits, they weren't very well received critically, and some not necessarily with fans. Now, we did see that some had mixed reviews and feelings, but they weren't as hated as they were, but they weren't as good as they could have been, seeing the characters and heroes that we had on screen, as well as the actors that were portraying them. But Aquaman, having finally broken away from the mold of trying to force everything into one universe that we saw previously, had its own identity and did everything in such a well done manner. It is the most successful solo film for DC. And that's a good thing, because it still carried a lot of what happened, because they made references to what happened in Justice League and other aspects, because there was people saying that it had no connection to the rest of the universe. No, it did. If you weren't listening or paying attention to the film, you would have missed it. But they made very heavy, blatant references to what happened in Justice League and elsewhere, and that Aquaman is still continuing that, but it's no longer the DCEU again. It's Worlds of DC now. But Aquaman did such a great thing. The animation and the CGI, a lot of people were unsure of, were beautifully done. And that the battles with the underwater creatures, from the sharks and the crocodiles and everything that was going on down there, amazing.
This is
jaw-dropping
CGI I've probably seen in a while. Like, to be honest, it's crazy. Like, just like some of the armor that you see and stuff like that, it looks crazy.
Better than Infinity War, you saying?
It's I wouldn't say that. I would definitely say it's up there.
It's up there. It's up there. Well, you gotta remember two different budgets, but with what they had,
they made
phenomenal. They blew it away, and that's a great thing. I was like, it's gonna be hard to touch a lot of the special effects that Marvel's got with the money that they be able to throw around on a movie like Infinity War and what we're gonna see in Endgame.
We got to remember that like Thanos was like all CG and nobody really like noticed it. Like
I mean, you can see this sweat and the thing on his face. Like
it was tears. It was wild.
It was crazy.
So you really can't compare that, because like I thought you would look at Thanos like, he's a real person. So.
Straight up. Yep.
Exactly. And I gotta say, Aquaman, Jason Momoa did an amazing job as his character. Anyone who says otherwise does not understand the personality of what Arthur has been in the past. Yes, he's been a joke character, but there's other times where he's been very serious, and he's comical. He does have its moments where he's very lighthearted with a lot of certain characters, and we got to really see that Jason Momoa has that kind of air about him. And he does that very well. And when you saw the change in Arthur through the story, as he started to get serious and realize what he had to do, he played that aspect very well. He showed what it meant for a character like Aquaman to be realized as a king. And I think that's phenomenal. And let me put this out there. The woman who did the costume design, Kim, she was nominated for best costume designs for everyone in this film. From Arthur's on how much it matches the original orange, gold, and green that he was known for, as well as Mira's outfit, as well as his mother, and of course Black Manta's outfit. If you saw the trailer Black Manta's outfit is so near identical to what it is in the comics and what we've seen in games and the old TV shows, everything. It looks beyond words on how well done they did it. And the fact that
they made a comic book costume look real. Like you were actually believe this is actually like something somebody would wear in real life. It's crazy. Like when you see Black Manta, like I have the Funko Pop and everything. He looks amazing. I just, man.
And not only that, we got to see the origin of Black Manta in this film as well. So we got to see what started that hatred for Aquaman and kind of see the beginning of that rivalry. Like,
yeah, they kept
it true
to heart. They kind of they kept it true to heart, but changed a little bit of things.
You know what's wild? DC's showing them how to do a comic book movie. That's really what they're doing with the Aquaman, and hopefully Shazam when it comes out later on.
Yeah,
well, they're showing what happens when they actually listen.
Yeah.
I like the direction of Shazam as well. Like that has me definitely intrigued. They seem to be getting the formula, and I think from what I'm seeing is like they're learning how to not force the interconnectivity. Like Marvel's thing kind of built over so much time. And I think they made the mistake of trying to mimic it and kind of get, I'm gonna call it a cash grab, but obviously it seemed like a really successful thing to do. So they're trying to mimic it. But that again, they didn't have the time investment to really build those characters. So I like that this is kind of its separate entity. It's focusing on him, and then Momoa's killing it. I'm saying? Everyone's saying like he's been hilarious. It's a great story. So this is good to see. I'm actually happy that is doing what it's doing, because at the end of the day, like, they've got great characters. DC's got great characters, man. Like, this is really good to see, man. So salute to them. 900, damn, that's a lot. I didn't know it did that well. Wow.
Yeah, they've been killing almost every front. The movies lately, the shows, like you saw, we finished Titans right now.
Young Justice, man,
bro, that is not a kid show anymore.
But like, talk on Jason Momoa. Like, he has made himself like the only character that I can see as Aquaman. But just like I keep calling, I call him Tony Stark now. That's how bad.
Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, just how he is. You can't see him playing any other thing.
Yeah, it's like
it's
him. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Hey, if you really want to go down to it, look at Ryan Reynolds. Facts. He is Deadpool. There's no one that can portray it the same way he does.
Facts.
And that's how you have a good casting. And if anyone's listened to our shows in the past, when we've talked, especially after we all saw Justice League and talked about it, we all enjoyed the film. And some people may think that we're DC haters. No, we're not. Ask Soul King here. There's a reason we call him the king of comics, is that he goes out and buys comics on the weekly. We're talking like 10 editions across, all from Marvel to DC and other smaller things. He's always buying new pickups every week. If you follow social media, you see that. And he was the one who told us about a lot of the big DC events that were coming up. So we know our stuff. The thing is, we're hard on DC because we know that they're just trying to catch up to Marvel, and they weren't realizing the full potential of the cast that they have. Their characters are iconic because people recognize the Justice League more than they did a lot of Marvel's characters. The biggest ones that people would know off the top of their head for Marvel was Captain America and Iron Man, Thor, Spider-Man, Wolverine, and Hulk. And Spider-Man 6. I was like, but when you look at DC, everyone immediately recognizes the Joker. Everyone immediately recognizes Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman, The Flash, Martian Manhunter, Harley Quinn. Like, they have more people that were easily recognizable for them. And I was like, but they weren't utilizing that right, because they were trying to rush to catch up to what Marvel had taken time to establish. They did that over a decade. They try to do it in 2-3 years. It's not going to work.
They wanted that Avengers movie out ASAP. They wanted the Justice League. They wanted to catch the Avengers type money.
Yeah,
ASAP.
Yep, that's it. Exactly. They fell victim to it. So it's good to see this direction change and get back to the root, get back to character development. Then you can then build and then establish interconnectivity afterwards. So I agree with you. To me, Aquaman proves that if they actually, dedicate to the source material, really give the characters time to breathe, establish those relationships, cast well, You know what I'm saying? Like Momoa seems like to be the perfect fit for it, man.
Exactly. And to Drew Martin, he mentioned that some of the comics were hit or miss, and I can agree to that, especially if you look at some of the Atlantean Warriors outfits. Some of them kind of felt off for the powered suits that they were wearing, but he did mention that Orm's costume was phenomenal, and I agree. I loved Orm, and I'm glad that we got to see him, take on the mantle of Ocean Master. Like, that's another big villain and big opposition to Arthur, because Orm shows up multiple times as Aquaman's big antithesis, and I'm glad that we got to see that play out as well.
Yeah, his outfit looked so good. It was crazy. I was like, wow. Like,
and that mask, though, I was like, when they actually showed him with the Ocean Master mask on, I loved it.
Yo, I lost it when they showed that mask. Like, yeah, they went and did it. They went and did it, and it worked.
Drew, talk about the trench.
Oh, yes. Yes. Oh, okay. The trench was probably one of my favorite scenes, because when I watched the trailer and I saw them diving off the boat with the flare, I didn't see all the people or the tribe of the trench following them. I didn't realize that was all them. And when you watch that entire scene, yes, because of that, I couldn't. Because I didn't recognize it when I was watching the trailer. I didn't recognize it when I was watching the trailer because they looked weird. I was just like, what's with all the piranhas? Right? Because that's what they looked like at first. I was like, it looked like a bunch of piranhas. And then when you actually see the scene, I was like, oh, that makes sense now. What's everything's jumping off the boat. But that whole scene as they're swimming through the water with the flare. Yes. Because they're fighting off all the tribe of the trench. We're holding this flare that's like going out. Once they get to the bottom, you see them like gunning it down towards the center of the ocean, trying to fight off everyone as they can to try and make it there. Oh my god, dude, it was so great. It was something else.
This movie was legit an adventure movie, pretty much. There were happy moments.
Yeah, it really was.
There's sad moments. There were even scary moments in this movie as well.
And they actually brought their world to life.
Right.
They brought Atlantis to life.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I can't remember.
They did. Oh my god, when you first see Mara bring Arthur into Atlantis, the way that it looked was simply breathtaking. I loved it. It's the same way I felt in Ghost in the Shell when you first see Neo Tokyo, and you first see that whole very downtrodden, like neo-futuristic style city. Took my breath away, just like that.
Yeah, I agree. I would say I think they learned their lessons. So hopefully we get some more bangers.
Yeah, and hopefully we start to see that the suits from Warner Brothers realize, hey, if we get a good director and keep hands off, we can let them realize what they want to do. Because James Wan, I agree, is one of the best directors that they pulled aside. Like, no disrespect to Zack Snyder with what he was trying to do, and nothing to Joss Whedon. I was like, they had their own vision, but when you have a singular person doing all these different films with all these different characters, and you're all forcing it into one style, it doesn't always translate well between characters.
I already know James Wan loved the Trent scene. I knew he loved that scene because he loves horror. He did The Conjuring, The Nun, Saw.
Oh,
Insidious.
Absolutely.
So I already know he had so much fun doing just that Trent scene, just diving in the water with all the monsters.
Yeah, but real quick, what other movie do you want James Wan to direct in the DC universe? Like, what character would you want him to take on? Because I don't want to see him be like a Dark Knight Metal spinoff.
You know what? I would the way that he has that appeal for visuals, especially how he made Atlantis look futuristic. I would love him to do a Lobo film.
Oh, I want to do a metal film.
Yeah, I can. I would like maybe a Swamp Thing, maybe.
Yo, bro, that would be dope.
Swamp Thing, I could do. I was like, Swamp Thing or Lobo. Like, Lobo, people don't realize anything about Lobo as well. It's funny is that he talks in Spanish a lot. He is a bounty hunting alien who rides across space on a motorcycle. Like, dude is hardcore.
Immortal and everything. A lot of people don't know.
Yep.
Beast.
That Swamp Thing, like he could throw in a lot of Cthulhu lore. That movie can be god tier, especially with James Wan at at the lead of it.
No, definitely, man.
I agree. I hope that what Warner Brothers does now is that they really do what Marvel is doing, what Kevin Feige helped to establish with Marvel Studios, and get a good variety of different directors with different visions, and let them do that. Have such a unique distinction between your directors and their films, and let them all work together and be creative, because we've seen what the Russo brothers did with all these characters, what they did from Winter Soldier to Civil War, now with Infinity War, what we're gonna see in Endgame, to seeing, unfortunately, what James Gunn did with Guardians, and then what Ryan Coogler did with Black Panther. Everything, like, they had so many different people with hands in the pie that gave that unique feel. They need to do that themselves.
I see what you're saying.
I got a question. Who's the head of Worlds of DC?
I don't think they have one yet. I don't think they don't have a head of the project who's going to be kind of their de facto as of right now. I think it's still the president of Warner Brothers, but I don't think they have a specific studio
I
set up
think
for
once
World
they
of DC.
find that person that has like just as much love as Kevin Feige has for Marvel, then I think they'll be good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. Leadership means everything.
Yeah, that is true. Drew did mention that Swamp Thing is going to be one of the upcoming shows in the DC Universe streaming service.
Yep, that is true.
James, get him on there.
Still, it would still be nice to see it in a film. I was like, we got a film version of Constantine, and nothing to Keanu Reeves. He played the character right. It was just the writing of that movie that didn't do it justice.
Did James Wan make that movie with the water monster? What was that movie that came out recently? It got like all these awards.
That was Guillermo del Toro?
No,
right?
that was Guillermo del Toro, because you're thinking of
okay.
Shape of Water.
Yeah, The Shape of Water. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, no. James Wan did Dead Silence, The Nun. He did the Insidious films, and he did Fast and the Furious 7.
Yeah, I know he did like Saws and stuff like that too. So.
Yeah, he did the Saws.
What's the status of the Flash movie? Was that the one that went through a couple of directors? Or was it Aquaman?
We don't know. I think they put it on ice.
It was the Flash movie. The Flash movie's gone through like 6 different directors right now.
Oh
yeah,
wow!
I think they put it on ice.
To be fair,
can I ask y'all a question? Like, what's the thought process behind them not? From my understanding, obviously the television series is so dominant and so high quality. Like, what's the thought process between like just completely not including them or separating that? I was always curious about that.
I think that's because of the fact that with the TV shows, that is Greg Berlanti and Greg Berlanti's love child, because he was one of the heads at Warner Brothers, as well as he also had his own production company, which is the ones who helped to do all the shooting for the CW. And when he came up with that, he got the team of writers that he did to start with doing their interpretation of the Green Arrow and kind of making him a little bit better. And then from there, they just like, okay, well, let's expand this out. And then, of course, we saw the Flash and all the characters that they did from all the other superheroes, all the villains and stuff, and that they were able to just keep expanding more. So I believe that the reason they don't have that crossover is because that's all under Greg Berlanti's umbrella of stuff, because it's all going through their production company.
Gotcha.
Even if I believe, even if they were to use those characters, it would create a lot of confusion, because they would have to stay with that that canon. That's in the show.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, so it's definitely something to be aware of, but because of that, I was like, that's the biggest thing that was affecting that. But I mean, some of the people, the actors from the CW shows would have liked to have been in the films, and a lot of them and CW were backing them, saying, hey, they should be, because like Grant Gustin really wanted to play the Flash in Justice League, but they went with Ezra Miller, and even Stephen Amell said that he wouldn't be opposed to wanting to portray Oliver for the DC movies as well.
Yeah, I would like them to, but it would be pretty confusing, and I would understand why people wouldn't want it as well.
Oh yeah, I can understand that, but then you just have to play into the whole multiverse thing.
Yeah, you could works for them. You could do the multiverse. I would agree, because Worlds of DC, that's their whole thing. So.
Definitely. I gotta give a shout out to Drew in the chat right now. He's definitely helping me keep up with all the extra information that I'm not able to address right away.
So let me tell you, man, yo, Drew's my dude, man. He knows everything. I go to him. That's my source material.
I was like, that's why me and Solo are the ones who are the source material for everything that we talk about on the show, because me and him go back and forth.
Absolutely.
So it's always good to have those extra hands on deck, especially in the chat. But I gotta say, you know, Aquaman, for them making that dedication switch and what they want to do going forward with the DC films, I'm glad Aquaman is getting the praise that it's doing. It's getting the success and the numbers that it's pulling, like especially in China. Like the money it's making in the Chinese market is phenomenal, and I'm really glad for that. So to everyone who is on that, they deserve so much love and respect, and I'm really looking forward to now. Shazam comes out this year, and I'm absolutely hyped for that film. I love Zachary Levi. I was like, Shazam's always been one of my favorite DC characters. That's always been my favorite, absolute, if I have to be honest, because it fulfills that, you know, that deep wish fulfillment we all had as kids, as if we could be superheroes.
Absolutely.
That's what it's about.
And that's the appeal. And that's the appeal. I'm glad you said it, because that is really, I really do like the Shazam character. And I like the fact that he be busting up Superman, to be honest. So,
because he's one of the few people who can bust up Superman.
I like, because the Superman fanboys don't like that. And I just like, you know what? I like this character. And it's like you said, it's literally your inner fanboy. Shazam represents your inner fanboy if you became a hero. Right. You know what I'm saying? And it's just so cool. And the way, you know, that initial trailer, Drew's like, he's cautiously optimistic. Listen, that initial trailer gave me at least a nice feel that I'm like, you know what? They might be on it, you know, and it looked hilarious. So I'm with it, man.
And that's what it should be. Is like, it should be funny, because again, Billy Batson is a 12-year-old kid with his foster brother, with who he's first meeting. I was like, he finds out and meets a grand wizard who gives him the powers to be a superhero. Great. And you know, he's just like, whoa, look at what I could do. They're just having fun. They're living that, just like, oh, we can do anything. And who wouldn't be like excited about that and be silly with it? Like the scene in the grocery store or the convenience store when they're robbing it and he stops the bullets and he's just like, whoa. He's like, I have bullet immunity. He's like, you guys messed up. And he throws him out the window and he's just walking out with like soda and snacks. And he's just like, thanks. And he sees the girls. He's like, hey, I'm a superhero.
Yeah. Then he say, like,
yo, that switch up was wild in the grocery store, like you just said, Blaze. Like, oh, I'm immune to bullets. You're dead now. He just chucks him out the window.
Yeah. I swear I thought they had beer.
No, they had soda. They had soda and chips, dude.
I thought it was beer.
Yeah.
Hey, man,
but I mean, yeah. But I was like, that's what that film is hitting, and that's what it should be. I was like, that's why I say is staying true to the characters you're using. Like, don't get me wrong, there's times where, you know, Shazam has gotten heavy, but I was like, but those are some of the older Billy when he's like starting to go into his teenage years and he's kind of having to really balance things out. But when you have a character like that, you don't want to take, you know, a 12-year-old kid and put him immediately in a dark, you know, style and put him in the worst possible place. No, it was like, let the kid have fun. I was like, that's what it is. That's what Shazam's always been about. You know, and people fail to realize that.
No, completely right. I'm with you.
Yeah. And plus, like you said, he's one of the only characters that can give that ass whooping to Superman.
That's what I like.
Because everyone's just like, Superman can take anything. He can't resist magic. That's why Black Adam beats him down half the time, all the time as well.
That's right.
I think Cognito likes Shazam just for troll factor and beating the shit out of Superman.
You see, you're learning me. Now you're learning what I'm about.
Just rub it in the people.
You gotta bother them. Superman fans have gotten arrogant over the years. We gotta bother them a little bit.
Just a little bit. I was like, but we saw what happens when Superman loses it in Injustice.
Yeah, that was lit.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Shazam, in that universe.
Yeah, that that Shazam did
not man brain.
Yeah, right through the face. Oh man. But enough of that. So we're gonna go ahead and hop on over to our next topic. And Cognito, I had this one special for you, and I was hoping that Mega could make it, but it looks like he might not be able to. But I was like, I have this one just for you. And Bumblebee. Woo! Yes. Bumblebee has been a success of a movie for the Transformers franchise. Now, it's not doing big numbers. It's not selling out. I believe when it was last looked at, it was at about $40 million or so, just around there. It had a decent opening weekend. It's kind of done a bit as the weeks have gone past, but it's losing out to the reigning king right now of Aquaman. Absolutely. But everyone who has seen the film has said that it has the right tone, the lightheartedness. It's very much what you would expect or really want from a Transformers film. The Bumblebee feels more authentic to how he was back in Gen 1. A lot of people were surprised at how good John Cena's acting was, and the young girl who is partnered with Bumblebee really helped to give that human feel that you want out of Transformers. And a lot of critics have said that this is the start of a new generation for Transformers post Michael Bay. Like all that's done. Get that out of here. Sweep that under the rug. Throw it in the bushes. We ain't talking about it no more.
Facts.
Into the bushes with that. I was like, but Bumblebee has been doing, very, very optimistically well. Okay, so right now, thank you for that, Drew, for being on top of it. It hit 100 million as of this weekend.
Woo, okay.
So, so yeah, so really, really been doing really well numbers, and like I said, it's well because a lot of us here are fans of Transformers. It's like Cognito, you, David, and K Mega grew up with the old Transformers. I was like, I watched a lot of that like post gens because of the fact that I was like, I got that from my uncle and my grandfather. I was like, I watched a lot of that, but I was like, I still love the old Gen 1. And I was like, and I like that they did that. I was like, Bumblebee, being the little bug that he was, I was like, I always love that. Don't get me wrong. He's iconic now with the Camaro,
right?
But you got to love where he started out. Back then, and I'm really glad that this film is doing much. I was like, I'm actually going to be seeing it tomorrow because I haven't seen it, but I was like, I've been hearing so many good things about this. So I wanted you to talk about this because I know you are probably one of the biggest fans I know for this.
Yeah, man. I mean, listen, as a G1 fanboy, we've been hurting. We've been hurting through the Michael Bay films. It's like, when the first one came out, it was definitely one of those things that the first Michael Bay movie. I mean, it was like, it was a novelty. So I gave him a pass. I didn't feel it was terrible. I thought it was solid. But as he made some choices though that kind of annoyed the hardcore base. Obviously, some story stuff and the Megatron choice and the voice actor. Like a lot of the G1 guys, we're big Frank Welker fans. So that's G1 Megatron to us. So when he initially removed him out, and I believe he brought in the guy from The Matrix, Hugo Weaving, and no disrespect to Hugo, I mean, he's a good actor, but he's not Megatron. You know what I'm saying? It's like, if you're going to have Optimus, you've got to have Megatron. So when I seen Bay making those kind of choices that some may say little, I've already felt he got off onto the wrong track with not respecting the lore of G1 and doing his own bombastic thing. And don't get me wrong, the graphics and the explosions, yeah, that's nice. But as far as what the essence of Transformers was, I never related to the Michael Bay films. And I stopped after maybe Dark of the Moon, I'm going to say. So that was it for me. So now when Bumblebee gets announced, I'm like, oh, here we go. Michael B trying to cash in again. But then I did my research and I'm like, wait a minute. This is Travis Knight guy. Michael Bay doesn't have as much involvement. Not completely omitted from the project, but it's Travis Knight's baby. So I'm like, okay.
I believe he was a producer on that.
Yes.
Yeah, put so over there, the destruction over there, car fall over there.
Yeah, do that. Go blow up a car, but we need you to blow it up and then, let Travis do his thing. So for me, I came in cautious optimism. Actually, I came. I said, nope, I'm not going to see it. That was my first thing. I was like, nope, I'm not going to do it. Saw a trailer, and the trailer changed me because I saw, if you're a hardcore G1, I saw references. I saw classic Transformers G1 things, subtleties that only the hardcore would catch, and that you would know that whoever's directing this is a fan of G1. And that's when I'm not going to spoil it because I know you haven't seen it. I know Drew in the chat hasn't seen it, so I'm not going to spoil if anybody has not seen it. But there are tons of subtle G1 references that I was like, whoa, that's the feels right there. Then when I start to see the classic looks, of certain characters that we can talk about because you guys have seen it, like, you know, the sound wave and, you know what I'm saying, the classic G1, you know what I'm saying, Starscream and stuff like that. These are the things, and the way the movie starts, again, without spoiling it, boom, hits the ground running, and you're like, okay, I see where they're going. You know what I mean? And then the last point I'll make that to me really sets it apart is the decision to make the timepiece the 80s. So you're almost getting, like, for, you know, those who watch Stranger Things, it's like, you know, like it's a Stranger Things feel because the time period has so much to do with why you like it. It's a nostalgic piece, and it's no direct connection to these Bay films, so it feels new, and they explain a lot, and it's really cool. You know what I'm saying? I had a good time. It's feel good. It has the essence of what, in my opinion, what Transformers is about. And he said, Drew, like, damn it, now the hype is keeping up. Dude, Drew, you got to see it, man. I know you've been scarred by Michael Bay, but you got to see it, baby. This is nothing to do with him. But and the way it looks like they have a new foundation for the future. They're explaining things well. My only concern is, I love the way the movie ended, but my concern is I heard rumblings that the Michael Bay thing ain't going away completely, only from the fact that they're trying to say that this is a prequel to the Bay films.
Oh,
and
no.
And if that's the case,
I hope not.
I'm hoping that they retcon that. I hope that they just say, you know, reset. This is not, the other stuff's not canon. This is the new canon, because this is way better. This is what we want. You know what I'm saying? That other stuff, because the main concern, I can spoil this because you guys have seen the Michael Bay, is you all remember how Megatron came in, you know, the Michael Bay films. So, you know, by them trying to say he was already there or whatever, blah, blah, blah. So when you watch this, and I'm like, okay, where's certain dudes at? You know what I'm saying? And then I'm like, I hope that's not the case. That's my only negative, if Michael Bay is still trying to hold on to some continuity kind of a deal. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, man, you got to see it. Is it perfect? No, it has a little bit of flaws. There's a little bit of unrealisticness here and there, but it's like that feel-good Saturday morning cartoon, you know, that the OG
kind of Transformers.
Yeah, it's Transformers. Like, that's what I expected to see. You know what I'm saying? And it's just a fun, feel-good movie. So I definitely recommend you guys seeing it as fast as you can.
Yes. And Drew brought this up, and this was something I was going to bring up. I was like, I really hope that they let this stand on its own, because with the Bay series is that they couldn't even follow their own story. They consistently retconned each one and changed the setting and reworking the history, and it got to the point where it was just ridiculous. And it was just like, you can't even follow your own history and your own beginning, and then you expect us to understand what's going to be. So what we learned in the first film, it's like everything we just saw. No, that doesn't make sense anymore, because this is the new beginning, and now we're going to continue from where the last film left off, which is like, you didn't even give us time to process it.
They did that every film. They did that every film in the Michael Bay films. It was stupid.
I was like, I watched Age of Extinction only because of the fact that I was like, all right, well, they're not using Shia LaBeouf anymore. I was like, I do like Mark Wahlberg, and I was like, and I wanted to see the Dinobots. I did not like that film, and I was like, how do you ruin the Dinobots?
I know, fam. You can't be doing that to my Dinobot. Like, he was in the bushes when I saw Devastator. Devastator is one of my favorite combiners of all time, and they put a trash compactor. Then they had the racist robots. I'm like, get this movie out of here! Like, he is so disrespectful to the G1 and Transformers lore that it's like, outside of special effects and bombasticness, that's all he can do. But as far as directing, that's just not, it's not his lane when it comes to this, man. And I like this Travis Knight guy, man. He gets it. He really Drew Stupid, he said prime riding Grimlock in the age of the disrespect. I feel you.
I mean, he's not lying though. It's like, one, Prime always respected Grimlock. He's just like, he didn't see him as anything else but an equal. I was like, Grimlock was the leader of the Dinobots for a reason.
Grimlock would never condone that. Grimlock tried to check Optimus for leadership one time. Like that would never happen. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, oh, the Lord disrespect is.
Yo, you know what happened? He bent the knee to Optimus. That's what happened.
Oh yeah,
the knee. Wait, are you telling me he did what Attic still hasn't done?
Oh, shots!
I'm not touching that one. I ain't gonna touch that one. But yo, Cognito, real quick, as far as Devastator, how do you feel about including a scrotum, making that canon?
That's so disrespectful.
Or what about the fact that one of our favorite villains was just a giant satellite in space?
That's what I'm saying. How does this happen, bro? Oh man, like I said,
when you literally just add a name for the sheer fact of saying, yeah, I'm just gonna name this object this one.
Literally, that's how
I'm pretty sure he just had a dartboard. He's like, I really need to use these characters. What am I gonna use? And just threw it blindly. And he's just like, all right, I'll use that name, and you'll be a satellite.
Yeah, it's like
they won't expect that.
It's like literally he made a Transformers movies without reading any of the source material, like watching anything, and just say, "Yo, what's the hottest names that they like?"
I mean, that's how it felt. That's how it felt with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Oh, perfect.
Without my mans.
Y'all, what's up, man? Y'all got me in here doing double duty, man. What's going on?
Hey, I got you in here specifically for this topic, and you came in at the right moment. Perfect. Now let me properly introduce you. You already know who it is. He is the KC native himself, the man who's always going live from the 405. It is L Mega, but remember the L stands for what?
Legendary.
There we go.
There we go. All right. What's up, everybody? What's up? What's happening? Watching this Rams Cowboys games. Go Rams. Let's go. Let's see.
Look, I was like, I'm already sad that my Texans lost to the Colts, but it was a bad matchup all the way around. I was like, and I don't care for Dallas, so I want the Rams to win. I was like, get Dallas out of here.
Well, it's looking good right here from this first half, but there's still another half to go. But yeah, man, what's going on? What were we talking about, man?
Let's
go.
Right now, we are talking about Bumblebee, and I was like, and I got you right here for that Transformers talk.
No doubt, no doubt.
Because I was telling them right here. I know you do. I was like, and I know you haven't seen the film, but what I brought up is that Bumblebee has been successfully, been really doing really well. Has hit over $100 million. Been really well received critically by fans. Very much a respect to the Gen 1 lovers. And Cognito just gave his feelings about it from what he recognized being a true fan and all that from going back to the 80s and showing what it is to know where Transformers came from. I was like, with the hearing of this and hoping that it stays true to what it does and not go back to the Bay-esque movies, how does that make you feel about the future for Transformers, since this is a new light and a good step for the Transformers franchise?
Oh no, I'm very pleased. I mean, I have not seen the movie yet. I have I just recently went to see Aquaman. Nice. And I'm about to go probably check it out. I mean, I probably could try to see Bumblebee tomorrow while you mention it right now, because I've mentioned to the old lady today that I was needing to see it. But I'm loving the direction that they're going, especially bringing back the Gen 1. You know, Knuckles, how much I love the Gen 1. I don't know what Michael Bay was doing. He was trying to commercialize a kid favorite, and that to me was at first, the first one was good, but of course the second one was trash, absolute ass water. And then the third one, it was very action packed. I enjoyed the action to it. I could appreciate that, but then after that, it just comes a tobacco, man. It just was it was an embarrassment. So so like seeing what this guy's doing, bringing back the original characters as they actually look, and putting a little spin to it, I think that it's a good fresh approach. And I think the reason why it had such a slow start is because not only because of Aquaman and other movies, but the fact that there were still people that Transformers still had that Michael Bay taint on it. And I think now once it started feeding off of other people, and they're like, hey man, you need to watch this, you need to check it out. now we're starting to see it rolling, and I think that it's only going to get more successful, especially when it hits video. Because I mean, I'm already going to have that ready to go once it hit on Blu-ray. So it's positive, and now we're really going to get Transformers as we expect it to be.
Mm-hmm.
And that's good. And I know Cognito just mentioned that he hated 2 because of what they did to Devastator, because they talked about how he made him a giant trash compactor.
Scrotum. Yeah, had Devastator climbing on the building like he was King Kong on a pyramid, like it was King Kong, and he was dumb, and I'm like, man, like really, and then like just the whole, it was just disrespectful. Not only the fact that he throw in racial overtones with with the racist robots, with the robots with the gold tooth, and talk about I can't read, and then you got robots with squinty eyes, and I'm like, what is you doing? Like, I mean, this you know what I'm saying? It's almost like this is the same director that made Bad Boys. Like, you really did this? You really went this route? So it's like I said, it's just great, and people can sit there and call me a fraud or whatever, but I didn't even, after watching Transformers, what was it, Transformers 2 and then 4? No, 4. I was gonna say I haven't watched any Turtle movies because I was expecting the same type of bullshit, and luckily I haven't, because the fact that people trashed on them. They were horrible. So. Hopefully somebody can take over their franchise and do it right as well. Thanks. I mean, so it's great. It's great to see that they got away from that, and now they're actually bringing that. They actually see that there's a lot of fans that are adults of those cartoons, and that like people take this really seriously. I think with the whole situation with the MCU and how people are so gravitated to what they do there, and then how people shitting on what are the I want to say is it DCU or is it
it's now World to DC.
DC, yeah. Okay, DC. What DC and how DC was going all these crazy directions, and people were like, no, this is not what we want. I think now that the movie industry is starting to see, like, we have to be authentic with these stories and give people exactly what they want.
Yeah, and the last point I'll say with that, Bloody, is that the thing is when they sat, I believe IGN has a sit down with the director, this Travis Knight guy, and just them talking to him, you can see the love for G1. You can see the respect for the Lord. You can see he even wanted to do even more things with the way, because the way the movie started, again, no spoilers, it's gonna hit the ground running, and all you're gonna think about, Mega, is you're gonna think about More Than Meets the Eye episode 1. That's all I gotta say. You know, if you know, I'm
already hyped. I'm already hyped. Yes,
you're gonna be like, okay.
Yeah, and I might have to go ahead and make that move. I might have to risk it all tomorrow. Go ahead and check it out.
You gotta do it, bro. It's a love.
Go IMAX it.
It's a love letter.
That makes me excited. That makes me excited.
It's
because that's exactly what I remember watching when my grandpa and my uncle first showed me Gen 1 Transformers. So I remember watching Gen 1 Transformers. I remember watching the original Ninja Turtles on VHS way back in the day. For those who don't know what that is, I remember seeing all that, and I was like, that makes me happy on what to expect out of this film. And for those who don't know who Travis Knight is, I was like, the reason that he did so well with this is because of the fact that the man is a very visionary director, because he was the one who directed Kubo and the Two Strings. I was like, and if you haven't seen that, it is a full stop motion claymation film. And what he does with that movie, because it's all paper origami that does it all. He had a team that hand crafted and hand folded everything in that film, and it was simply beautiful.
Yeah.
So hearing what he's gonna do,
nice.
Leica Studios, yes.
Yeah, I'm very excited about it, and I'm also excited for Battle. What is it? Battle Angel Alita. That's coming out.
Battle Angel Alita.
Yeah, I'm really ecstatic about that because that's, to me. Now I don't know how the audience is going to receive it, because it really is going into that whole deep anime world, because Ghost in the Shell didn't receive well, but this right here is. Look,
Yeah,
I'm just going by what just what box office said about it. About Ghost in the Shell.
No. I'll talk about that in a second. But go ahead, continue.
Okay, but with this, it's really looking like it's sticking close to the roots and really diving in. And if it's received well, then get ready for more of these movies to come. And I hope, because I'm hearing rumors about that they're going to try to do a live action Akira. I think that if this Battle Angel does anything comparable, then I think that it's going to actually bring us. Like I wouldn't even know what to do to see that, because that was my very first anime that I can't say that's my very first anime, but it was my very first anime movie that I ever seen, because I was into Robotech and all that way back in the day. It would be crazy. It'll be crazy.
Dope.
Be crazy.
And I'm glad you brought that up. Is that I'm really looking forward to Battle Angel Alita, because it comes out literally in 1 month. On the 14th, I was like, I ain't got no woman, so I ain't got to worry about asking her to go with me. So I was like, that imaginary woman can go in the bushes, because I'm gonna go see that. That will be my sweetheart for the day. But Battle Angel Alita, I'm glad you brought that. It truly is a love film, love letter to anime, because it is one of those. But it isn't just really an anime, because of the fact that it's a graphic novel. Yeah, it has its manga appeal, but it's a graphic novel that has a lot of parts. It has 3 separate parts of that series that has several volumes within each one. So I really hope that they do the series if this one takes off well, because the best thing about this film is there's 2 aspects. Is one, that the producer and the original director is James Cameron. We can say what we want about James Cameron. The man knows visuals, the man knows storytelling, and he's helping to produce. It's using part of his studio. And he was helping to put that. So the visuals are already looking amazing in that movie. But when he was so caught up with Avatar right now, because he's still working on 2, 3, and 4, because he's doing all 3 of those movies, and who knows when those are going to come out, he reached out to one of the truest fans that he knows for the series, as a man who knows action as well. He reached out to Robert Rodriguez to direct the film and help with the choreography for all the fight scenes. So what we've already seen, that is Robert Rodriguez's DNA mixed into what we have of James Cameron. And it already looks great, because say what you will about Robert Rodriguez, he knows action films from the Desperado trilogy, from those old films. Of course, what we've seen with the Machete films, what he did with Spy Kids. Say what you want about those, they still handle very well done action.
You said like machete like a true.
Yeah, he threw that. He threw that lingo on it.
He put that Latina in that.
Yeah. I felt the sauce on that. I was like,
he put the sauce on it.
Let's go.
I can't even do that. I can't even do all that. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
He did. That guy did make From Dusk Till Dawn too.
Yeah, From Dusk Till Dawn as well. He worked on that with Quentin Tarantino. He did all that.
And George Clooney's very first movie. First big movie.
And he did Grindhouse. He did that double feature with Quentin Tarantino. That's why they did From Dusk Till Dawn and that whole series. Like I said, Robert Rodriguez, despite how his films do, he knows how to handle action and choreography for his films. I was like, in him with what he's done, because like I said, he did the whole Desperado trilogy with Antonio Banderas, and Antonio Banderas, seen as one of the most attractive men in Hollywood from all he's done, but he's also been an action star, and people forget the drama that he did with that series. And I was like, and him and Robert Rodriguez have always been close. So what he's doing with this has me excited, because he's a man who knows the roots. He knows the series. He knows how to handle that kind of action. So what I'm really loving what Battle Angel Alita can be, because Mega, you did bring up Ghost in the Shell, and yes, that was mixed. I was like, the reason that it was so bad is that it was the Western audience. No. The Western audience is the ones who made a big deal about ScarJo being the major. Here's the thing that I have to explain multiple times to people, is that the major does not have a nationality. She is a shell. She is a robot. She has no nationality. She could be anything. And even the Japanese audience said, for a movie to have star power, ScarJo was one of the most perfect fits because she fits the role and look and the aesthetic of the Major. Yes,
Yeah,
there was
they
that.
got multiple YouTube videos about it. Just like people going around like Japan and asking them, like, do y'all think that Scarlet is a good choice? They're like, yeah, we like it.
Well, another thing that's really crazy is that like this is the thing about critics. All in all, you know, they're trying to do all this, you know, this politically correct type of garbage, but then yet that's how anime got its appeal in the West, is because they wanted their characters to look Caucasian. You know what I'm saying? You know, but have like that Asian flavor to it, but they still wanted to appeal to the West. That's why Goku looks like a white dude with crazy hair. And that's, I mean, just goes down the line. Like, I mean, when you just look at that. So when you look at Ghost in the Shell, the series, she looks like a white chick. So I don't get it. Like she, like, yeah, that, I mean, this is being real here. So I don't know, man. I just think people
and I'm glad you brought that up, because if you look at all the people from her department from section, was it section 2 or whatever, Batu is really an American. I was like, and the rest of the squad is all. Yes, Batu is an American. And I was like, and the rest of the squad is multinational. I was like, everyone is a different race. I was like, the thing that people fail to understand when it comes to, especially in the Western audiences, when it comes to anime, is that Japan has an obsession with the rest of the world.
Yes.
Like, we talk about wanting to have an all Japanese cast perform Full Metal. Look at the Netflix film. They did well with it and then still dropped it at the same time. That's because of the fact that Full Metal is not about Japanese characters, not Asian.
They're not
characters.
even Japanese.
Yes, they are European. It is about their stylized take on World War II. I was like, Edward Elric is a blonde hair, blue-eyed main character. They don't have that in Japan. Let's be realistic here. Like, that's what people fail to understand. And I was like, and that was the biggest thing that critics ripped into this film, was the sheer casting. And I was like, that was not the issue with Ghost in the Shell. The one thing that hurt it was their storytelling. The story was good, the action was great, the visuals were beautiful. The story fell apart because they mixed the original movie script and then the TV show, which are two different stories because they're two separate universes. When they try to combine those, it caused way too many issues with them going with the Puppet Master storyline, and then at the same time going with the origins of Makoto with the Major and stuff like that. It didn't mix right with the way that they were trying to tell the story. If they focused on either the original film or just on the TV show storyline, it would have been a lot better. That's what really hurt Ghost in the Shell. And people who say otherwise need to get over it, because no, that film was good, but that's what really hurt it from someone who really knows the movies.
I feel you.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, I mean, if you want to complain, you complain about that movie. There was the Egyptian God movie where they had Jaime Lannister and Leonidas.
Gods of Egypt.
Yeah, Gods of Egypt, like, bruh, like that right there was just absolutely horrific. Like, I mean, who casted that? I was like, who is the producer of that? Was that somebody from the 60s, 50s? You know what I'm saying?
No one said anything on that, and yet they all got mad at Jake Gyllenhaal for playing the prince from The Prince of Persia. No, he actually has that background because he does have Egyptian blood in him, or Persian or whatever. I was like, he at least looks the character. I was like, no, come on now.
Yeah, like that was a complete whitewash. Like, I mean, you can't get no worse than that. But when you talk about for Ghost in the Shell, and when you're talking about anime characters, I think that you can mix in somebody, and then by adding that star power, as long as they look close to the character. Now, you know, you just can't bring like Nicole Kidman and make her be, you know, some Inuyasha or some shit, like, you know what I'm saying? You can't do that. You know what I'm saying? But you could definitely, but you got to keep close to what the character looks like. But it's just the other thing of just like, we can't get too overblown with certain things, and that's unfortunate, because I thought that Ghost in the Shell wasn't that bad. I really didn't. So
yeah, like I said that it was a solid film. I was like, it wasn't perfect. I was like, I really wish it would have been, if they did the storyline, it would have been so much better. I was like, but people just blew the whole whitewashing thing out of proportion. That's what really hurt that, along with the storyline from true fans. I was like, That's what it comes down to. But I'm glad that there are people who are not shying away from that and continuing to do, like the girl who's playing Alita in the movie. I like Rosa Salazar.
Mm-hmm.
I love her. I truly do. She's passionate. She's also read all the graphic novels. I was like, there's so many aspects of what they're doing right, and they continue to do that. And with the talks of Akira getting a live action film, there's been talks about Akira getting a live action film for years. We've been hearing about this. So many directors don't want to touch it just because of the fact that none of them feel that they can live up to the legacy of the movie Akira, as well as give that full aspect. And I was like, and if you go and watch Akira nowadays, it still holds up absolutely well. I got my roommates to watch it who had never seen it, and they were blown away with how good it looks. And now they see the reason that it's so one of the most beloved anime films. And I think the biggest talk right now is that Jordan Peele is wanting to be the director to do this live action adaptation. Wow. And he has openly talked about his love of anime and stuff like that. And I was like, and we've seen what he's doing, right? What he did with Get Out and how that is, and what he's doing with his next film. What's it? Us? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, it's called Us. It's called Us.
Yeah. And that looks good. I was like, I feel that if someone who knows that and can play proper portrayal and homage to that, right, it would be him. I think he can honestly do it well.
Yeah, no, I definitely look. And with Akira, after seeing Aquaman, they could do it because the visuals in Aquaman is some of the best that I've ever seen in any movie in my life. Like, I mean, it blows away Matrix, it blows away any MCU movie. It like I literally dropped my jaw on like 2 or 3 scenes in that movie. Like
when you first see Atlantis
was one of them, but the part where
the final scene,
the battle,
the major battle when Aquaman comes out the ground, but then the one before that when
the
scene where they're on the boat and they're about to go get that trident, and then they got the flare.
The trench.
I said, "Oh my god! Like that is insane! Like that's insane!"
Exactly.
So I said,
"That's what we were talking about earlier."
Kidding me? Like, yeah, that movie, and I mean, there was just so many other scenes, like the tsunami that came over and things like that. There was a lot of crazy scenes. So yeah, like Akira could be done with the technology that's out now. You just got to have the right the
vision for it.
Yeah, the right people that can do those type of things. I mean, like, and I mean, the sky's the limit for movies that my childhood waiting to pop up.
And like I said, that's that post-futuristic style. Look at the aesthetic of Ghost in the Shell. When they first show the city, when they show her first using the camouflage suit, when you first see her use the active camo when she breaks into the meeting, looking out at that city, it looked exactly how it did back in the original film. That's what you want. That's what they can do with a movie like Akira nowadays.
Absolutely. Agreed.
Yeah. So there's so many possibilities. I was like, so people need to stop being afraid. And I'm glad that you mentioned with Momoa and Aquaman, because this totally slipped my mind. We were talking about whitewashing. People had an issue with ScarJo playing the Major, but no one had an issue with Jason Momoa, who is of Samoan and Pacific Islander descent, playing a white character.
Pretty much, yeah.
Let's be honest, most of them didn't know his actual ethnicity or nationality.
Yeah, right. I was like, he's Atlantean. He has no nationality.
Well, yeah, he's white. He fits in. Like, little do you know.
Nope. Yeah, but it just kind of shows that double-edged sword and that double standard when it comes to that. When it comes to characters, that's one of those things that really needs to just. Hey, if they know what they're doing, if they have the right people to do it, let it be. Just shut the hell up and enjoy it. But with that topic being done, we're going to go hop on to the next one. And right here, this one, I'm going to go really old school for y'all. So, your fraud's going to show on this one and maybe a few others, but we'll see. So, Mr. Glass. M. Night Shyamalan.
No, we stop this shit right now. I saw both of the original movies. Cut that shit out.
All right.
Cut that shit out.
He was quick to defend himself on that one.
Because I knew what I'm talking about.
So Glass is 50-50 when it comes to being out. And I have to say that that's par for the course for an M. Night Shyamalan film. So with all the reviews coming out on Glass, there's some that say it's really good and continued the story that was established in Unbreakable and then later in Split, and a well close off for something that people have been waiting almost 19 years for. And others say that it's not that good because it tries to be an exceptional case when it comes to the superhero genre, but falls flat. And my opinion on this is that it's M. Night Shyamalan. So it already fits. It's not going to be what others want it to be. That's his quirk when it comes to the way that he does movies. But the way that he was telling Glass, it wasn't going to be a traditional superhero film. He's not trying to redefine this superhero genre or anything like that. That wouldn't exist with what people were doing back in the early 90s and what was capitalized and perfected by Marvel. Now everything is set to the Marvel standard, not looked at the standard that was back then. If you look at Unbreakable, it did have that superhero feel, but not in the way that people look at it now. It was the fact that we were seeing a man who wanted to be extraordinary, who showed that he was extraordinary, but not in the way that he thought.
Yeah.
And then we saw that with Split, with the way that they portrayed that character. And now in Glass, we're getting to see all that culminate in one conclusion, but people wanted to look at it as a film like, you know, like Logan, like Days of Future Past, what we're seeing with Avengers, and maybe even a film like Justice League with having a villain and an aspect of like, who is it? Why can't I think of his name in Justice League? Steppenwolf. You know, we're not seeing villains like that. I was like, it's something different because of the fact that the entire tone of these films is different from the traditional superhero. So the people that were bashing it really weren't paying attention to it in the light that it started out from. So with these talks, does this change your thoughts on what's going to be coming out with Glass? Have you seen the first two? Are you still looking forward to this? And what are your thoughts on some of these critiques coming out on the film? Mega, I want to start with you on this one.
No, I have not seen either one of the movies.
Yep.
Me too. I haven't. Yeah, I haven't seen either one of the movies. I was just telling my old lady that, and she was like, "What? We got to catch up because now Unbreakable. Glass looks really cool. So now I'm like, all right, you know, maybe I need to do it. I had a bad taste in my mouth from Shyamalan's movies after Earth, and so I was.
Oh man.
So you know.
Yeah, but what he did with these were really something else. And Glass, like when you see Mr. Glass character like across all three films, it is something spectacular because this is honestly what I have to say is one of Samuel L. Jackson's best roles.
Really?
Yes, it really one of his best performances because he plays the character of Mr. Glass so well.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have not seen it, you definitely need to. Trust me, it is well worth it. I'll definitely say they're slow films. Like I said, they're very M. Night Shyamalan. But when they get going and start seeing it, it is severely enjoyable.
Okay. Yeah, especially Unbreakable, because like that movie took a real grounded approach to someone discovering their power, but not sure what it is exactly. Mm-hmm. As far as Split, like. Yeah, and Split was like a really slow build up to like craziness that happened at the end. But yeah, I saw both of them, enjoyed them thoroughly. As far as like Glass coming up, what everybody's saying, it doesn't affect me how I feel about it. I'm so excited to see a movie. And
yeah, they get it. The movie has a 38 on Rotten Tomato. Don't listen.
Well,
don't ever believe.
Really?
Don't ever believe critics.
We said it in the past.
Rotten Tomato has been established as trash. We all know.
I was like, the only time you ever believe it is if the user scores are.
Yes,
closely
the
related
audience score. Yeah, the audience score.
I was like, but look at Bumblebee right now. You know, look on IMDb, it shows a 7.3, and on Metacritic, it's a 60. But you look on Rotten Tomatoes is at a 92 when the fan score is at an 89 or something like that. I was like, so they're really close. I was like, that's how you know that it's that everyone feels the same way.
True that.
I'm definitely gonna go see the movie. I know it's gonna be pretty decent. I don't know what the critics were looking for, but clearly they didn't go there to actually just enjoy the film.
Do they ever?
I honestly think that they go into the movie theaters with this little notepad and their pen, and they're sitting there like scribbling the whole movie.
They got check boxes like nope. You
can't even enjoy it like that. You were just looking for flaws and shit, trying to critique it.
Yeah. I was like, they don't sit there and watch the film, enjoy it, and then write how they feel about it afterwards. They're doing it at the same time. Yep. Cognito, what are your thoughts on this? I was like, have you seen these films?
Nah, man. I just saw the trailer and all that stuff. It looked interesting, but I'm in kind of the same thing. I'm like, I got to throw that in the catalog. You know, I've heard good things. I definitely need to see it. Now you're telling me about Samuel Jackson. That definitely piqued my interest. So, yeah, I got to see what's going on. I definitely got to see what's going on. But, I mean, the way you guys are raving, it's got to be in the catalog, man.
Definitely. Now, Op, since you definitely have something to provide on this film, why don't you give us your thoughts?
As far as Split?
Yeah, like how do you feel about this, and especially with your history with the rest of the series? I know you said you just recently watched them.
I just said like a few seconds ago.
Okay. you don't have anything more to say? You know, I give you say like a quick summary, but I actually thought you were gonna have more to provide.
Oh, you want to go in depth like Split? Because I enjoyed Split more than I did Unbreakable. Yeah, because like Split, like it caught me off guard because I didn't know both movies tied together, and just seeing like I forgot the main antagonist of the movie. I forgot his name because I know he had
James
split. Yeah, because he had split multiple personality
disorder.
Yeah, and just seeing him just like with the kids that he kidnapped, going back to the therapist, not therapist, she was like a fashion designer or something like that. She was talking to him on a regular. And just like seeing his different personalities working together and him just experience that. I'm like, okay, I'm really this shit. And like seeing a beast come out at the end, just like that slow build up throughout the whole movie, just get to that point. And dude took a shotgun to the chest and like just shut the shit up. I'm like, bro, what is this man packing? So yeah, I'm definitely excited for Glass. I'm not expecting the world of it, but just to see the continuation of this franchise that he's doing. It has me excited.
Running like beast like that. That was like, what the hell is going on here?
He went breaking lights and shit. Like, hold on, this shit from Arkham games. I don't want none of this. I want no smoke from this man.
Yeah, that's look crazy.
Yeah.
All right. So you got anything you want to add on this?
No, I just know I'm going to go see it. It's going to be good. I can tell. So
all right.
I'll let you guys know on Twitter when I go see it. So
nice.
Yeah. Definitely. I know I'm looking forward to it because I watched Unbreakable. I rewatched it for a second time just not that long ago and finally got to sit down and see Split. And when I found out that all tied together, I was just like, yo, I love this. And when they announced Glass, I got so excited because I've been waiting for that because I really want to see more of that character. So I'm glad that we finally get to see more of him.
Yeah. Now, that ending in Split, he's at a diner. I'm like, oh shit, this man for real.
Yes.
Do a crossover event. All right, people, let's go.
Now, next topic is right here is that we're actually going to talk about going back to Marvel for a few here. Gambit, Doctor Doom, and several other unnamed Fox Marvel films have officially been canceled.
What now? What has?
The Gambit film, the Doctor Doom film, and several other Fox Marvel films that haven't been unveiled were officially canceled. Now, I'm going to talk about this for a second because this is a good thing. Now, most of these films that are getting canceled were having trouble getting off the ground, or they were in talks and place to continue with Fox's universe that they were building. But them getting canceled clears up those films, what they're going to do with them and rewrite them, because last month Kevin Feige announced that the deal is going through with the merger with the acquisition of Fox's assets for Marvel, and that he was already given the green light and that we can start seeing stuff coming out as early as spring to summer of what they're going to be doing with those licenses, and that we can start seeing stuff as early as 2020 to maybe 2021, because they're already starting to look at what they want to do to incorporate them. And now with them canceling Doctor Doom leads me to believe that he's not going to have his own solo film, and that he's going to be teased throughout them rewriting the X-Men universe, which goes into what I've been saying since May of last year, especially with the Russo brothers a couple months ago confirming that the next big project that they want to work on with the Avengers is that they want to do Secret Wars. And that, when that came out months after I talked about this, only makes me further believe in the theory that I have, is that they are going to rewrite the X-Men universe. They're going to reestablish and get that all in order, keep it separate, and that they're going to be teasing Doctor Doom as the Beyonder with that version of the Secret Wars, and do use that to do X-Men versus Avengers, as well as the Battle World storyline, to combine both universes and put them into one singular MCU in the future. Because that's what they need to do. Especially with Dark Phoenix. They need to cancel that. They do. I want that gone.
Yo, Bloody, real quick. Do you think Feige's like going behind the scenes to look at everything Fox is doing? Like, get that shit out here and get that shit out here. Or rewrite that. Do you think he's doing that like right now?
I honestly do think so, because here's the thing. I was like, they've done some decent aspects with the X-Men film, but most of them were never very true to the comics. The last real good one was Logan, with the way that they did the Old Man Logan storyline. But remember, the first X-Men film was good because he was a consultant on that and worked with the director. He did only a part of the second film, but didn't get a credit. And then the third film, which is the horrible one, he didn't have any touch at it at all. And we saw how they did the first time around with the Dark Phoenix.
Low key, they might cancel that horror X-Men movie too.
Yeah, New Mutants.
Yeah.
And that makes me a little bit.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I would say because they don't have no obligation to withhold these agreements. So.
Right. Yeah, and you're right, and that sucks, because I do like the take that they were wanting to do with the New Mutants, but I mean, if they push it back to help edit the script, but keep the same actors, keep the same director and stuff like that, but just rewrite the script and help just improve it to continue using it, that's fine. Like I said, I like the new young cast that they have for the X-Men. Right now, it's just they just haven't gotten the time to shine. And K Mega, you went and saw Apocalypse. You're a big X-Men fan as much as I am. I could not watch Apocalypse because of the fact that I felt that it disrespected him as a villain, as well as I just didn't like how all over the place it was.
Right, Apocalypse should be in the same realm as Thanos or Darkseid. You know what I'm saying? He's not as powerful, of course, but you know what I'm saying? But when you talk about the X-Men universe, Apocalypse is that guy. And that isn't, and when you build up to it, or really, that was the kind of odd thing about these X-Men movies, is that they never really build up to them. They just kind of threw them in. And then like, okay, like you would think like, well, they're going to have to bring him back, but they did such a horrible job with him. And just the pacing of the movie, there was some parts that was like really dope, and then there was other parts that was just absolutely atrocious. Like I just like from the very beginning of Apocalypse, I was like, okay, there they go, they're getting it right. It's dope. I'm already hyped. And then after the person got put in the wall, it just start going left. Got good at one point in time, and then it just so I kind of want to see Dark Phoenix. Want to see what they're doing with it, because I mean I do. I kind of want to see what they're going to do with it, because I'm pretty sure once I just want them to keep that cast. Now I will say, if this movie do come out and the movie is a complete flop, I hope that Feige and them that will go ahead and say, look, this cast, a lot of people are familiar with this cast. We just got to recast a Wolverine. Why don't we just bring them in and then start all over? Yeah. But if the movie flops, it might be afraid to be like, man, let's scrap every goddamn thing and let's just get our own people. But I hope not.
Yeah. And I really hope not, because I like the young girl that they got playing Storm. I do love Sophie Turner. I really do. And I think she has the potential to play Jean Grey. But right now, we haven't seen her really put that character to work. So with doing a story like the Dark Phoenix, she does not have that emotional impact nor that depth with that character enough to give that emotional feel, that real heavy-handedness that comes with the Dark Phoenix storyline, because we aren't attached to her as Jean Grey yet. It's not going to have the feel that it could have.
Yeah. You know, this reminds me of our perspective towards Venom when it was first announced. We were seeing like, all right, where the fuck is Spider-Man at? Like, how are they going to make this work without him in it? It's like, as the months build up, we start, okay, I'm starting feeling a little bit. Then we saw it and actually enjoyed it. It's not the exact same situation with Dark Phoenix, because right now, like, none of us are feeling it at all. We're not feeling it at all.
Did y'all like Venom? I haven't seen it.
I really
enjoyed it. See, here, what they did with Venom is that they took the character and modernized Eddie Brock. You know, instead of being a, you know, newspaper editor, he was a, you know, online investigative reporter and doing stuff more modernized on how you would see that character nowadays, and the way that they handled the symbiote storyline. And then, of course, they did their take on, you know, Planet of the Symbiotes and Lethal Protector. It was a much better. Let's not go back with that. They cut that out by the time the film came out. You get but they handle that character in a more modern way that still felt very much like how you would expect him to be nowadays. But it still paid homage to the original Eddie Brock in the right way. Yeah, there's not the obsession with Spider-Man or anything like that, but they did it well. It was an enjoyable film.
And to be honest, with the next Venom film, it will make sense why they will be fighting each other. Because like right now with the Venom we have, like he's established an anti-hero, because Eddie Brock, like he made clear, like we only eat bad people. We don't fuck with good people at all. So there's really no point for them to come. Yeah, there's no point in them to fight in like the next movie. So like, it's gonna be interesting how they handle it going forward.
Yep, it's gonna be something, all right. But like I said, what they're doing with the X-Men is probably good for what they're trying to establish, and that's the way that it should be done. But my only fear is that it's gonna be ruined too much, or that there's too much left now that is going to ruin the potential for the future with that cast. Like, I really hope that they do keep the cast, but I understand that they have to replace them. And we know that Marvel's not afraid of replacing characters. Look at what happened with
directors.
We saw what happened with directors. Yeah, but I mean, look at what they did with the actor who played Rhodey, you know, in the first Iron Man film to who they have now, you know, and they just kept the story going. Like, they didn't even acknowledge that they changed characters or anything. It's just like, hey, no, hey, you remember the first film? Yeah, I remember the first film. Cool. Hey, you're different. No, I'm not. I'm the same person.
Same thing with the Incredible Hulk, and then going into Avengers.
Yeah, exactly. The Hulk too, from Edward Norton's take, which I did not like Ed Norton as the Hulk at all. He did not play Bruce Banner anyway close to what you would expect out of Bruce Banner. And I'm glad that they switched to Mark Ruffalo, because he has the awkward nerdiness you would expect out of a smart man like Bruce Banner, but still have that perfect feel of you know, Hulk when he's going out. And the fact that they mixed, you know, Mark Ruffalo's visage with Lou Ferrigno's, who played the original Hulk back in the TV show, you know, I like that.
Yeah, because Edward Norton, he's a good actor, but like that dude, he was like a confident ass Bruce Banner. Like, he wasn't as timid. It was like nervous.
He was cocky.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Different take on it. I didn't mind the movie, but yeah, I agree.
Me neither.
He wasn't Bruce Banner to me, but like with the whole Fox thing, like to me, it's like, man, you know, I just can't wait for this deal now. The finalization, the legal stuff is out the way, and to get control of these franchises, to get control of these entities like Doom. And, you know, my main thing is I'm a surfer guy. Meg already know.
Right.
And like, you know, just to see,
y'all like Silver Surfer.
That's my dude right there. So it's like, just to see him realize, especially with the MCU really establishing the cosmic universe with Guardians and things like that. And obviously,
Nova Corps, all that.
Yeah, like we're starting to see terminologies that, for the most part, if you're a hardcore cosmic guy, you never thought would happen and actually be popping.
We gonna get that in Marvel. We're gonna get to see that with Captain Marvel.
That's what I'm saying.
Nova. I was like, I'm excited for Nova. I was like, that's my boy.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it just hurts me to see my man, who's the essence of cosmic, you know what I'm saying? And like just to not be a part of it. So now that those deals are eroding, I'm curious to see how they do the implementation. So when you're telling me this news, oh, what's up? What's up? Yeah, question?
Silver Surfer and Nova team up movie.
let my man breathe first, though. Let him breathe first. Let me get a nice, proper introduction. You know what I mean? Let's get some Zenla. Let's get some Galactus creation. You know, let's set it up right. And then they got so many ways they can throw him in and then kind of do a solo spin and get his backstory. You know what I'm saying? Or they could set up Galactus as like the next threat post Thanos. They got a lot of things they could do. You know what I mean? So I'm curious to see how they implement it. Well, and I'm glad you're telling me that these movies that were initially going to come out for Fox, like a Doomsday, get those out of here. Like, I'm glad that I'm hearing that, because this way Feige and these guys can start figuring out ways, kind of like what they did with Spider-Man. They chose to bring them in kind of in the middle, then Homecoming and things like that. They kind of implement it. So I'm curious to see what they're going to do with Surfer.
Right, and then it just also it also brings in, like bringing in the X-Men. It gives so much other potential, because going into the cosmic stuff, then you have Elantra on top of the Nova Corps. Then you have Overmind. You got Onslaught. You got so many other entities that can come into this, and so many other villains that's on a whole nother level than Thanos. Like it's a dream come true for any comic fan, and especially as an X-Men fan, you know, and it's just like, look, I mean, a lot of people think a big purple guy in the sky, like what'd you say? What'd you say?
I said, don't forget too that we're getting an Immortals film.
Well, see, I didn't know about the Immortals film, but I'm just saying, just everything else. Like, I mean, it is the potential is there. And also, one of my favorite, I don't think that they'll go this route, but one of my favorite comic book series with the X-Men and the Avengers is the Inferno series. I loved it. But it's just a potential for all this stuff to come in here. So, man, yeah, now we're going to do with the scrolls and all of that. The Secret Wars is going to be really dope, man. I'm really stoked.
I am seeing no love for Gladiator. Like, no one wants to see this man come in. Like, come on, man. Like the 90s X-Men show, he threw I already forgot his name. He threw the Juggernaut. Like, bro, at that moment, I was sold on that dude.
Yeah, you know what? Gladiator nice, but for me, coming from a surfer dude, like, I ain't really, you know what I'm saying?
You know what?
I'm not there yet, but he's nice though. He's nice.
You know what? You talk about Galactus and one to set up Silver Surfer. I was like, what if they use Galactus as a setup for one of the big bad villains while they're setting up the X-Men universe, and still use Dr. Doom Beyonder as the big tie that's going to bring both of them together,
and then also bring Fantastic Four to be a part with the X-Men. Like, I mean,
exactly,
it'd be great, because
because the Fantastic Four would be the first one to make contact with the Silver Surfer, so it will make sense that way.
Absolutely, man. So many possibilities.
Kevin Feige, hire me. Let me consult.
They gotta introduce the Fantastic Four using Black Panther.
Yeah,
that's how they first were introduced.
Yeah,
that is true.
That is true too.
Wakanda did come out to them and test them out.
Yeah, what if going forward to use Fantastic Four to introduce like newer, like bigger threats coming into the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
Yeah,
like they did in the older days.
They were the centerpiece for a lot. I was like, and part of that's because of Reed. I was like, there's a reason that they're known as the first family for a reason. So it would definitely be interesting for sure.
Maybe if they, just killed a little bit on the Inhumans, we could have got some more,
Dude, don't even bring that up. I'm so mad. You asked them. I am in love with the Inhumans. I was like, I prefer them. Like, anytime. I was like, Black Bolt is my boy. I was like, but they messed him up.
Yeah,
they legit killed him in the comic. They killed every Inhuman in the comics still.
Yo, did they nerf him before?
But I mean, you're talking about one the god, the king of the Inhumans for a reason. The man who can keep back Worldbreaker Hulk by humming and has gone toe to toe with everyone.
Yeah. He's a beast.
Dude is powerful. They messed him up so bad.
No, they didn't nerf him in the recent issues of comics. He's still as powerful. He can destroy people with screams, but Like when he does it, he destroys his vocal cords.
Okay, so add a little twist to it. All right.
Yeah, they added a little twist to it. But I mean, you're talking about a man that with just a whistle could destroy a planet.
Yeah, it's beast.
Like, dude was a boss. And I was like, and the royal family of the Inhumans were no joke.
I just want to see how far they're gonna go, because some characters are a little too strong for the MCU.
Right.
Yeah. I won't deny that. I was like, they definitely have to tweak it. I was like, we've seen how they've definitely been willing to tweak some characters.
I want to see how they introduce somebody like Galactus, because they already nerfed the shit out of somebody like Scarlet Witch and stuff like that. So.
Yeah,
I was like, we're seeing that. We did see a nerf, but I mean, at the same time, we still know that she is absolutely powerful. So I think that that we're going to see the expansion as they add more powerful beings. We'll see their growth.
And Hela is very strong too, and I don't think Hela's gone either. So
yeah,
of course, yeah. I think she can't even die. So So I mean, you got Mustafo. I mean, So I mean, like there's plenty of others, and one thing that I do know is that from what I've heard is that they're going to bring these those big-headed, the all-knowing, the Watchers or whatever. So I mean, like you can't. I mean, like they're pretty much really like gods in a sense. So I mean,
the recorders of the universe, kind of.
Yeah. I was like, the thing about the Watchers though is that people got to remember is that they don't actively interfere unless someone is pushing the balance of the universe out of a spot that they have deemed appropriate, which is why the Watchers interfered in Secret Wars after Dr. Doom went back to the beginning of time when he was trying to stop the Beyonder, only to be revealed that he was the one who created the cult of the Beyonder and was the Beyonder himself.
Yeah, who in the comics punched the shit out one of the Watchers? I remember hearing about that somewhere. I can't remember who did it.
I was like, Dr. Doom. Here's the thing that people forget about Dr. Doom is probably one of the greatest villains because of the fact that he's powerful, like he is godly powerful, but the dude is stupid smart. Like he has taken on and played the cosmos against each other. I was like, Dr. Doom is one of my favorite villains.
He's a beast.
I don't know. It's hard to consider Dr. Doom a villain. At some stories he is, but like then he just wants to be left alone and people keep messing with him.
Yeah, I was like, I mean, he is. You're not wrong. He's hard to be seen as a villain when you look at how he rules Latvia. Everyone there has a job, well paid, well fed. Everything is great in Latvia, yet everyone tries to say, hey, he's the horrible person. Everyone's just like, no, he's great. And they're just like,
at the end
no.
of the day, he wants Earth to be the best place. He doesn't want nobody to invade it. He doesn't want nothing that like bad to happen to Earth. So.
Yeah. I was like, that's what makes him such a great character, because he's so flawed in a way. Because think about it, what makes a villain so human is when they're so far bent in their delusions that they think that they're right. And the scariest part is when they do have a lot of good in what they're trying to do. It just may not be the way people.
Yeah, it's like the Thanos dichotomy too. Like, what I'm saying, what in his mind, what I'm saying, like what he's doing is the right thing. He's not completely wrong, just obviously the way he's going about it, no doubt. What I'm saying?
I'm really glad they didn't introduce death.
Yeah.
So glad.
Yeah. That would not have worked. Out of his drive for why he wanted to erase half of existence made him that much more of a humanistic character as a villain, because he was so far in these beliefs that you could almost kind of understand where he's coming from, and you're like, you're not wrong.
Absolutely.
Shit. So I was like, there's so much that could be coming from, and there's so many things. I was like, we here can talk about so many different storylines of all these comics and how it could play out into the movies. And I was like, I just really hope that, especially for me, with as far in depth as we've gone with some of these ideas, that these plan out. I was like, seriously, Kevin Feige, consult us. Damn it.
I got a question. What do you think they're gonna show us at the end of the Marvel?
I know, I'm curious.
No, not the end of Infinity, the
end of Endgame.
Oh no, Miss Marvel.
Oh, Miss Marvel. Okay.
Captain Marvel. I'm sorry. What do you think they're gonna show us at
They're
Oh,
gonna show us
Captain
when Nick
Marvel.
Fury calls her. That's what.
Oh no, I guarantee that after it all sets and it shows at the end, we're gonna see the scene where he's paging the setting off the pager before he disappears, and that we're gonna see her in the middle of whatever's gonna be remaining of the Skrull Kree war, or whatever's going on, and that she's gonna answer the call, and we're gonna see her like zooming back to Earth right now.
Yeah, what we do?
And then what do you think they're gonna show at the end of Endgame?
That to me has to be the setup for the next phase. You have to, I mean, yeah, you're gonna have resolution with Thanos. You know, I think there's gonna be some loss, you know, with some major characters, but they have to set up the next phase. Just an inkling, just like almost like with Avengers 1, right? At the very end, you know, we got that Thanos, you know, thing. So I think they have to set up whatever that was. What phase 5 or whatever next phase 4, whatever the next phase.
The next phase is phase 4. That's the
right.
Official
they've
cosmic
got to set up phase 4. So I think my gut.
I think we might see Nova.
I think we may see some form of a hinted at some form of a Fox acquisition. That's what I'm going with. One of the Fox entities that they now control, because legally by that time they can do whatever they want. They may not be able to set everything up, but they can hint. So that's what I'm going with. I think they might hint something as far as the next.
I can agree. They might throw a hint at like mutants being a thing or something like that.
Yeah, like something that we know is going to be relevant to X-Men or Fantastic Four or Galactic or whatever Fox entity that is controlled. We're going to get some form of a hint.
Maybe we'll see. Maybe we'll see a spaceship floating in space being hit with some solar flares.
Ooh. Could be lit.
Maybe y'all think
I was like, if they even get that, just that alone is enough. I was like, a spaceship floating in space being hit with solar flares, because we'll know exactly what that is right out the gate.
Question: Silver Surfboard just floating.
Question:
don't say that.
Do y'all think that because Marvel has like a problem of like keeping villains alive? Yeah. Do you think they're gonna kill off Thanos?
Ooh, that's a good one. That's good. What you think?
I mean, there's a theory that him on the farm is in the future after everything's all been said and done. So, I mean, I don't know. I was like, it's definitely a possibility, but who knows? But you know who I want to ask and who I want to know from is the acidic assimilator himself, Prometheus over there. What's good with you, Lemon?
Sick. It's good, and I still went to work. Oh man, but thanks for having me. And I like to say one thing about that Transformer. That's why I kept saying shoot me that link. First of all, this generation of kids ain't no Transformer fans. So whoever they made those Transformer movies for, it damn sure wasn't the people who grew up on it, because the height of Transformers all started with us.
That's right.
So the movie that y'all talking, I didn't go see Bumblebee either, man. I ain't see Aquaman. I've been grinding, but it was good to see them old Autobots and Decepticons.
Yeah.
It definitely, and I'm not gonna just completely crap on Michael Bay, because they didn't get Michael Bay to write a great Transformers movie. They got him for that goddamn action. You know what I'm saying? Every director, they not, he's built for bad boys and stuff. He didn't do Die Hard, but that's the type of stuff he do. But when you start destroying fan favorite characters, my dude, the whole them two ghetto robots, man. But I'm not gonna say I wasn't entertained by the movie. I just stopped ignoring my history with Transformers and just watched the movie. Because if you go into any of those movies, any of them, you know what I'm saying? Like, we all know when Prime dies, you get what's his name? Hot Rod turns into what? You know what I'm saying? What Hot Rod turned into again?
Rodimus Prime.
Rodimus Prime. Yeah. So it's like they turned the Matrix, it turned into it was just different, but it was great action movies. That's all you could look at it. I didn't like Mark Wahlberg, and not one of them. I'm a Mark Wahlberg fan. It is what it is, man. But you know what? It's a good thing that they went back to the original, and but look what happened. we got to get out there and support it. Because if we don't,
that's what I'm saying.
They will be back.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to tell my G1 heads. Like, go see it. Like, is it perfect? No, but is it the essence of Transformers? Is it what it's supposed to be? Yes. You know what I'm saying?
Shockwave, like out there, that was the most gangster look. Because wasn't Shockwave in the other one? Wasn't he with that big lizard, a big snake? Wasn't that him?
No, Shockwave was like a he was a satellite in that movie.
Oh, he was. So who was with?
No, I'm sorry. Shockwave was a big Cyclops, and he was tearing through buildings. Like three was like I like 3 a lot because of the action, but yeah, they really made Shockwave into like this big ass Cyclops thing.
Yeah, he was riding this thing like a tank.
Soundwave was the satellite. Yeah, and I was just grossed out. Like, what are y'all doing? So,
I did like the little comedy robot that was a little RC car. He was funny. I don't care what none of y'all say.
you rocking with him. You rocking with him.
He was cursing. He was disrespecting Optimus. He ain't care about nothing. He couldn't hurt nobody, but his jokes was bigger than everybody. I like that part.
That dude, Megan Fox's leg. I was done at that point.
Megan Fox, man, she's terrible. Yeah, it's like next.
Well, they definitely didn't hire her for her acting ability.
We all know why she was there.
And I think about Endgame at the end, they got to line up the next phase.
Facts.
But they just got the properties too. It ain't like you remember this whole 10-year plan has been planned out for 10 years. So that's why everything rolls into each other so well. You know what I'm saying? Because I hated the first Ant-Man movie. I love the second one, but when I go back and watch it, I got to give my man K-Mega some real props. I watched Watchmen again last week. I understand what was going on now.
Yeah, I was like, that movie was very dark, demented, but
but it was good. At first, I didn't understand because I'm not a Watchmen person. So when I watched it, I'm thinking about some Superman, stuff like that. But
hey, right there, I'm gonna stop you for a second there, Lemon, because I do have to say this for those who don't know. Watchmen's getting an HBO series.
That would be perfect for that. That would be perfect.
Yeah. Yes, it will. I'm looking forward to that. I was like, and it's gonna go all into Rorschach's past and what set him up to what he started doing in the film. So you want to see Rorschach in the beginning? Oh, you're gonna get it.
Nice. Yeah, I even ordered that 4K Blu-ray, so that was definitely gotta give my man K-Mega the notch on that one.
Hey, Microsoft made me buy a whole bunch of movies with that sale. Man, I was like,
and not only that, remember is that now any movie that you buy digitally from Microsoft's movie store is now part of the Movies Anywhere, so you can watch it anywhere, anytime, anyhow you want.
Yeah, because you can watch them off of Vudu, right?
Well, I'm a hard copy guy. Because I like my surround sound and all that craziness. So I'm going. I got all hard copies. I got a problem though. I think I got to go to like a AAA meeting because movies, man. But I think they got to set up the next phase in Endgame. After Endgame,
they definitely.
We can't expect too much. Because
I expect to shed tears, though. I expect to shed tears as a grown man. When they got to look because Cap is done.
Somebody got to go. Yeah, somebody got to go.
And my heart's going to be broken.
Look, I want Bucky to take over. I want him to be the new Captain America. I was like, I love Bucky's take.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe Falcon. You know what I'm saying?
Hey. I was like, don't get me wrong. I like Sam, but I was like, he has not earned his self yet. I was like, he still has a lot of work to do as Falcon. I was like.
And
he still got some work to do, but don't forget that we're possibly getting that Winter Soldier or White Wolf and Falcon TV show on the Disney streaming service. Yes. So we may see them both kind of competing for who's going to pick up the mantle after Cap's gone.
Well, and also that's going to tie in also to Black Panther because I think that there's going to be the Kraven the Hunter, and then that could lead into the White Wolf.
The White Wolf, yeah.
And so it could be a great possibility. So I don't know.
There's so many different things we could do. There's so many different things.
You know what? I think that they might do some crazy shit. Because there was a crazy little thing that there was a little red carpet thing, and they had one of the people from Black Panther, and then of course Killmonger, and well, Michael B. Jordan, and then they were talking, and then he was like, "Yeah, you're really gone," and so they kind of did this crazy look. So anything could happen with those Infinity Rings to where maybe Killmonger might come back out of the Soul Stone. We don't know. I have no idea, but
I don't know about that because
Killmonger dead.
No, I was gonna say
Hashtag Steve Killmonger.
I think
that's what we doing now.
Hey man, I think his character was so impactful that people want to see him and wouldn't trip out if they kind of wouldn't about that.
But I am going to say this. I was listening to y'all talk about this Doom, and y'all all just try to make him seem like Killmonger. Stop. That dude crazy.
No, Doom is
he gets to a point in his life where he turns and says, "You know what? I want to be left alone." But in the beginning, he was trying to take over the universe. Don't try to turn him into Killmonger. Come on, y'all was like, "Oh, but he's misunderstood."
He is.
He was trying to kill everybody.
He evolved into that character. In the beginning, he was wild out. Like,
thank you. He was wild.
Did I not say that he was extremely intelligent and planned and put the cosmos against each other multiple times? He's been at the start.
He's a genius.
He has been at the heart of a lot of conflicts because of the fact that he's trying to prove a point or do something because of the fact that he can either get more power out of it or it can take someone off the board that he doesn't want. Dr. Doom is one of the best villains for a reason. Everyone forgets about what one of his alternate universe clones did with the universe of all the riches that were kept after they were tortured and lobotomized. Dude is messed up. I don't ever deny that. I said
he's different,
but he has
some problems.
He does have a lot of flaws. Remember,
started the same way, and then it got to the point was like, we need Superman. I might have been wrong all these years, but
remember though, the reason is that especially with his hatred of the Fantastic Four is he hates Richard because he stole Susan from him. But remember when Susan and Richard had their daughter and they went missing and her daughter went to Dr. Doom, she calls him Uncle Victor and he does whatever she asks because of his love for Susan and for that little girl. As much as of a bad person as Dr. Doom is, he is still very much a human. I was like, and he has those emotions. That's what I was like, you have to remember, he really does have a misunderstood aspect. I was like, Dr. Doom is a well done character. Despite his insane moments, he is still very misunderstood.
Yeah. Yo, real quick, Mega, you were saying you want Killmonger to come back. Did you forget that woke ass speech he gave at the end of Black Panther?
That was like man, don't let this dude go out like that.
Mega, you have to understand.
Shit like that.
Mega, you have to understand.
They need that impact. They need that impact.
I'm like,
bro, after those words were said, that's it, bro. It's done. You can't come back after that.
Yeah, you might be right, but I was like, but I was like,
maybe if we got that words. Maybe so didn't you say that you would like a prequel series of him when he first joined the military, how he got to that point of being a war dog?
No, I think
they even got the comic right there. They even got the comic right now just going on, just the adventures that he was going on before he met up with T'Challa.
All right, well there you go. If you want that, go read the comic. Now because we've done left, right, and back and forth, and now we're back again. I was like, we got two topics that we need to get through. Come on now. Next topic is CW, because we mentioned this earlier. Arrowverse about to come back and return from its mid-season finale where it left off back in December, or November. And where they ended off is with the end of the Elseworlds crossover event. And I have to say, I love the crossover events that CW is doing. And each year they do something bigger and bigger. And I loved Elseworlds because they did so many throwbacks to the original 90s television. So we already know that the actor who plays Barry's dad in the television show also played the original Barry Allen in the 90s TV series. And Elseworlds that we got to see Earth 90, as it's called, and it's reminiscent of all the characters who played a role on CW or WB back then on those. So we got to see him in his iconic Barry Allen suit. We also got to see the Green Arrow from Smallville and the Hawkman from Smallville. We got to see their interpretation of the Atom or the Ray, as well as what's believed to be Red Tornado and a few others. But the best thing about this is we got to see our first glimpse of the Bat family with seeing Kate Kane as they continue to talk about Batman. They teased Batman. We saw that Kate was talking to that Bruce is her cousin, that he's been gone for a long time. So we know he's not going to be showing up anytime soon. But they definitely threw a lot of Gotham Easter eggs in there and Batman references. And we got to see her in the costume. Not as long as I would have liked, but we got to see enough of her. And it has me excited with the next storyline that they set up. Because we got to see the storyline of Elseworlds where Barry and Ollie ended up switching places. And they were each other, and that played out very hilariously. But with the end of the Elseworlds, they are setting up for the next story, which is going to be Crisis on Infinite Earths. And when they teased that, I nearly jumped out of my seat with excitement because the Crisis on Infinite Earths comic event was one of the biggest impacts for DC. And with them doing this, and we already know that Ruby Rose is going to be returning as Batwoman for a while for that. And I really hope that she gets a spinoff because she kills it as Kate.
Touchdown, baby. Let's go. Let's go, baby.
On my TV. That happened like 12 minutes ago.
He just derailed Blood's whole spiel. Bloody whole.
I was about to say, you get that excited for Ruby Rose, and then he's over here talking about Rams. I'm just like, oh man.
I'm sorry. Just hear me. Go touchdown, Rams. Let's go.
I heard touchdown. I thought he was green. I heard Rams. Like, nope. He doing something.
I agree with you.
That's what I said. I was like, when I said that, I hope that she gets her own spinoff, and I hear touchdown. Yeah, I'm just like, oh damn, he's getting all hyped up for the girl.
You thought Nick was riding with you? Nah,
I was riding with you. Let's go.
Let's go. But with the announcement of their next big crossover event or their next big stories that they want to do the Crisis on Infinite Earths because they have Ruby Rose as Kate Kane still. What are y'all's thoughts on that? Like, I really want to know, because did anyone else watch the Elseworlds crossover event? Because I love the CW shows, and I was so excited with this and what they're teasing.
I think that's the best stuff they got going on. Because the other programs like the Arrow is kick-ass and Flash is kick-ass. The other ones is all right. Supergirl's all right. The Legend of Tomorrow's is all right. But when they do the crossover, everybody looks good. So I'm definitely.
Oh, dude, I love the Legends of Tomorrow, especially this season because
I didn't watch
Matt Ryan. Oh my.
Is it still
Matt
corny?
Ryan is perfect as the Hellblazer.
You said no. He said they're still corny.
No, I'm asking. Is it still corny?
I don't care.
Oh.
They are funny. It's a beautiful mix of characters, but fucking Matt Ryan. No one can. I have not seen anyone be able to portray the Hellblazer with such the perfect, like, atmosphere about him, like Matt Ryan. There's no other person that could have played Constantine to the T like he does, and I love that.
I think they kind of watered down, but it has potential. I was excited to see Superman, especially in the black suit. He was gangster, even though they.
You talk about their version of Martian Manhunter,
right? Right. No.
Yeah,
Superman in the black suit. Superman in the black.
Oh yeah.
That was, I thought.
Yeah, that Injustice.
He was evil, and but it was really that guy being him, because he had the book.
Yep.
But it was good to see Superman on screen,
Destiny.
And not the Smallville Superman. This dude, he wasn't a big bodybuilding looking dude, but he fit the part of, the way they portrayed it. It had a seriousness to it. So it was good to see Superman, because in Supergirl, my cousin this, my cousin that. Oh, he's in a different universe. We're not in the same place. I'm like, that don't even make sense. So to see him on the screen.
Oh no, it's the fact that they state that he's just not around because of the fact that he showed up a couple times and he let her, and then he went back to what's left of Krypton.
He's kind of retired.
Yeah,
he's growing corn. I want to hear that shit. I want to see Superman kick some ass.
At least they showed the original farm and Smallville, where the original series is.
Like I said, their crossover events is awesome. That makes the other weaker WB stuff look better, because I can't get into that Legends of Tomorrow. I'm sorry, I'll be trying, man. It's like I forced myself to watch it. I just stopped.
Yeah,
I don't like it.
Man, I understand. I can understand that. I was like, I just find the characters to be more enjoyable. Like I love Ray and Mix. Their personalities and their chemistry is perfect. I love it.
It might be better though. I'll give it another swig, but I don't watch Supergirl. It's too commercially correct. She's always politically correct. She does
commercially correct.
Like, she throw you through a wall, she goes and pick you up. Basically, like I don't want to see that. You're supposed to be kicking ass and taking no name. It's too nice. You know, like the Arrow.
To be fair,
you can't watch the Arrow catch bodies and then turn that shit on and take it serious. I'm sorry.
I mean, Barry's done that too.
You know, Barry, it's like you grew with Barry. You understand? The Arrow started off, he was a gangster at first, and then he got a conscience. But Barry didn't know what he was doing. He had to, he crying every other episode. Oh my God!
Oh no! Don't do the boy like that.
No, I love the Flash.
But, I might be the fastest man in my own show.
What's the dude?
But I could also be the fastest.
Salvatore. What's his name? Salvatore.
Savitar. Yeah.
Yeah, Savitar. That dude had him under pressure. You know what I'm saying? It was like, how many times we seen Iris die? Every other episode. It was like, I can't stop. It was emotional, but you grew with the character. That Supergirl shit, man, come on. That's like superheroes on fucking Easter Sunday. I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
You gotta get a little bit you gotta get a little gangster, man. She fucking like she's like a school girl, a Girl Scout, selling cookies. Hey, would you like to buy these macaroons? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, well, come in. Oh, you got kryptonite? Just put it on me. It's okay. I'll get over it. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, man.
I'll survive.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'll take the crossover episodes. I'll be trying to watch the other ones, but the Arrow is what I watch, and the Flash, and I love Gotham. Otherwise, they're a little soft. A little water. You can't watch the other ones and then watch that shit. Give me some Black Lightning. That shit gangsta every episode.
Is Black Lightning really that good? I haven't
what?
seen
Yes.
Yes. Mike, mute K Mega right now.
Bro, you know I don't be watching TV like that.
You need to watch Black Lightning, especially the way you are empowering type person. Yeah. That is for you. That is a good, solid.
No, hang on. We can't do this because of the fact that we know he's not going to watch it because of the fact that unless it has Rachel Maddow in it, he ain't going to watch it.
I watched Rachel Maddow about 30 minutes an hour ago.
So you turned on? You getting informed?
Look. I'm in the bed sick, right? And I don't sit down and watch TV. So I just was scrolling through the channels. I don't even remember last time I even looked at regular TV. And then I hit a channel. And they was talking about the president and investigate. I said, "Oh, this is what the hell K-Mega be into," and I was locked in for a minute. Yeah, it's good. It's good. Yeah, I hate politics, but it is good. I
love politics, so I'm all up in it. Politics, sports, music. You know what I'm saying? Gaming, nerd shit. But I do love. I love Game of Thrones, and so like I religiously watch Game of Thrones. So you know what I'm saying? It's just like some of these shows, though, a lot of people say they're great, and then I watch 1 or 2 episodes and I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. This is not my cup of tea. So if you say Black Lightning, I'll take your word for it and watch a couple episodes. Because I watched 1 and it was good.
You need to watch it. It's first of all, it's a learning lesson. Just the way they carrying themselves as a Black community, it's like the Black Panther TV. I'm telling you.
I will say this though, Mega. I was like, because of that, they do not tone it down. Like when they say the N-word on TV, but they do it within context and have the right support.
That's how it's supposed to be, though. I don't want to. I don't want to
get shot in clubs.
Yeah,
yo, seriously, like they really got the hood
up in there.
Yo,
I know. I see one episode where he was like, "Hey, bitch," and I was like, "What?"
They're clashing with the ethnic backgrounds of different people, right? But it's not like it's racist, but they're just bringing self-aware to the situation, and they always give you a resolve. You know what I'm saying? Like Black Lightning was this
hero of the people.
No. Well, he didn't hero of the people, but principal. He was this principal that had a bad in the school in a bad neighborhood, and everybody respected him, and he gives pride to the kids and how he carries himself.
Oh, he's kind of like a dude from Lean on Me, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And he gave up Black Lightning to be just this face, just to motivate his people. You know what I'm saying? Black Lightning had to come back, but you have to watch the series because you're like, wow, this is very empowering, and it teaches you so many different things besides the superhero shit, because I can't stand his suit. He looked like that neon Batman shit with what's his name?
I dig the suit.
Hey, this man wild.
Yeah, he wild.
I don't like neon suits. When you have a
feeling
that movie, like you see the Val Kilmer Batmans and the neon lights shot the movie down. Everything was neon line. I mean, the Black Lightning suit is awesome. I just think it should be a little less bright. Let him light it up with the electricity, but that suit bright as hell. All the criminals see him coming. It's crazy. I'm just saying, my bad.
You're not feeling it.
I'm not.
I
thought the first suit was better when he was in the tub and he was all bloody and it was just plain. But now he looks like he's fucking in Tron.
The suit doing too much?
Yo, it's doing too much.
No. He wilding out. He wilding.
Like you go to the Grammys and that one superstar come with that outfit and you like, where the fuck are you, on Mars? You at the Grammys. You want to fuck, you the first person to go to Mars. You always get that every year. That's what he looks like.
He's saying this man got that Moon Knight mentality. I want them to see me coming.
The show is good. I ain't mean to assassinate my man like that. My bad.
No. I like how you put up on the pedestal this shot of yourself.
Yo, listen,
bro, he put him up there and took him right back down.
He's like, you see this man? You see this man? Don't listen to this man. Throw him right in the bushes.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, but it's a great show, K-Mega. It is fantastic. It's fantastic.
All right, I'm gonna check it out.
And please don't do no crossovers. Please, just leave them alone.
Oh man. Mm-hmm. Okay, so since we went on the way over there, but we all know how we feel about this. Cognito, you want to add anything about them doing the Infinite Crest on Infinite Earth storyline from Elseworlds? Did you see that?
No, man. I ain't see. I'm gonna let y'all rock, man. That's y'all. I was here for other stuff.
Yeah, he was here for other stuff. All right,
I'll be here for
Mega, all right. Well, Mega, I already know you ain't. You ain't seen them.
No.
What about you?
Well, I share my thoughts a little bit in DM. Like CW shows, like I've fallen off with them. Like Arrow after season 3, I think I stopped watching it. Gotham, I was like really within season 1.
Oh, Gotham can go in the bushes.
Yeah, but after, like season 2 showed me, like it showed like what Harley Quinn, like Killer Croc, like this shit out of here. I can't do it.
And like the fact is, like the boy's barely 13. He's already trying to put on the Batman suit. No, get out of here. Get out of here.
They're introducing villains almost like a decade or so earlier than they should.
Yeah.
They are. Bullshit. I can't do it.
But you know what they're doing? They're taking the characters and they're making their own universe. This could be one of those infinite worlds. You never know.
Yeah, it could be. That could work.
Because right now, Gotham.
Because Gotham's more about the history of the city and not so much the characters. I'm gonna say
that they're over the top in Gotham this season.
Yeah, because
it hit the fan.
Hey, all I'll say is I'll respect the boy who's playing young Bruce and I like the girl who's playing young Selena. I was like, they got that interesting love going on, so I was like, I can respect that at least.
Are you up to speed on the on it Bloody?
Nope, I am not.
Oh no, you need to. Gotham is.
Yeah. I dropped off at the start of season. I dropped off at the start of season 2 when they did the villains whole season.
Yeah. All I'm gonna say is if I see Rachel Gould trying to recruit Bruce, that's going to the Infinity Bushes. I'm sorry.
He did that like 3 times. They done killed that motherfucker twice. Well, 3 times.
But there you go. Now you know to just go ahead and throw it in the bushes 3 times already.
You know that's eventually gotta happen. That's how
it has to happen.
I mean,
that's got to be cold. You know what I'm saying?
No, I understand, but the boy's still a teenager. I was like, it doesn't make sense until he's in his mid-20s, at least 30s.
But you gotta realize
that's when
no, not his 30s, not that. Oh no,
thing is to justify.
No, because remember he He trained by himself for years. He didn't find the League of Assassins until he was in his late 20s, almost 30s. That's when he actually perfected Met Raish.
But look, you DC cleans up all this shit. You don't know what Earth you on. You notice what DC does. So you can't.
That's true. I was like, they're bad about multiverse.
And say, oh, look what they're doing. Their whole shit is multiverse, multiple Earths.
Yeah, that is.
The cartoons, the movies. You don't know, so you can't look at it like that. You know what I'm saying? You just got to say because the Penguin is gangster, the Riddler is definitely.
I do like their Penguin. I do like him.
Yeah, he's funny. That motherfucker's funny, but but he's serious. He's a killer. You know what I'm saying? He ain't cracking no jokes. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's dark. But like I said, if you
built up to that too. Is they made him that little awkward henchman first,
right? And now Gotham is Vietnam. They blew all the bridges up. You can't get in. You can't get out. The different sections are taken over by different criminals. The Gotham PD is in the middle of all this shit. They don't got no help. They don't got no food for the people.
So they put Arkham Knight with it, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like Beirut right now. It's crazy. They only 2 episodes in, and I was like, shit, y'all need help. y'all outnumbered by the criminals. So,
oh man. Well, maybe it's on Netflix. I may go back to it. I was like, me and the boy Op over here sharing right now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So shout out to the homie. Until I get my stuff back. I was like, so respect to that boy. But on to this last topic, and I think your boy Drew already dipped out for this one, but I was like, this is gonna be the last topic of the night, and that's Spider-Man. Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse.
Into the Spooderverse. Let's go.
Spooderman. This film has been praised by everyone for it being not only a really great and enjoyable animated film, but being a well done comic film. Now we'll talk about some of the complaints or some of the things that have been said about it. But this film was so well done that it was actually nominated for a Golden Globe for Best Animated Film of the Year, going up against the new Wreck-It Ralph film, and I think it was Incredibles 2 and a couple other big animated films. And this actually won Best Animated Film of the Year for 2018 at the Golden Globes. Now, that's an amazing accomplishment, especially for a superhero animated film. And I say that because of the fact that while superhero films are big and definitely juggernauts of the industry now, they still aren't represented at the Oscars, the Golden Globes, or anything like that. I was like, we've seen them slowly being given like some of the smaller, roles or nominations or anything, but nothing big, especially something like an animated film of the year nomination. Even if it's the Golden Globes still have a lot of pull, not as much as the Oscars, but still they're up there. And the fact that this film won Best Animation of the Year is definitely a great sign of what this studio accomplished. And the animation in it is simply beautiful. The colors, the very feel that it's very much a living comic, because everything you see in it is very much how you would expect out of a comic in all color if it moved on its own. And I love that aspect. Now, I don't want to give this movie any disrespect. I was like, but is it perfect? By no means, no. It is not perfect, but it does deserve the praise that it does, because if you are a true diehard Spider-Man fan and you know the history of Spider-Man, you will go into this film and be able to recognize everything that it does and love every single aspect of it. Now, if you don't know much about Spider-Man, you'll just enjoy it because it's a Spider-Man film. I was like, it's animated, it's very much for kids, but it's still enjoyable by adults. But the fact that a movie like this can win Animated Film of the Year against some of the others, especially against something that's done by Disney and Pixar, right?
Pixar especially.
Especially against Pixar. That shows what superhero and really comic movies nowadays are capable of doing. Now, I want to get everyone's thoughts on the fact that it was nominated as well as their win. So, Cognito, since you're the special guest here, I do want to start with you. What are your thoughts on this? Have you seen the film?
I'm hurting that I haven't seen it because I actually had a chance to see the pre-screening, but I had a family emergency, so I had to cancel. And again, I came in, you know what I'm saying, with not like super low expectation, but I didn't really know what to expect. So when I was speaking to my people and just like, you know, trying to get a vibe, like, okay, how is it? And the response has been overwhelming. Like, even from people who are not Spider-Man fans like that, people are saying this movie is amazing. You know what I mean? And I'm like, really? Like, the anime joint? Like, really? And they're like, yo, because again, I'm not really putting any weight behind it. I didn't really know the history about it. It just looked cool. Obviously, I know Miles is up in there and stuff like that. So I wanted to see the take on it. But from every account, everyone consistently said this is one of, by far, like one of the best Spider-Man movies ever made, from people I respect. And there are people that are extremely high critical. So once I seen that, I'm like, okay, I got to go in there. I got to get this done. I got to get this done. And now you're telling me with the nomination, you know, that kind of stuff don't happen for animated, you know what I'm saying, like flicks. So I'm very intrigued to see what's going on over there. I mean, you're speaking highly of it. Obviously, I heard, you know, you said there's some couple flaws here and there, but the overall consensus is this is a great film. So I can't wait to see it.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
And Bloody quit the show. Okay.
Vega, you saw it?
Yeah, I'm still here, man. I'm over here
I'm
trying
here.
to watch these last 2 minutes and 11 seconds of this game. You know what I'm saying?
What's the verdict, Vega? Is it good? Like,
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it.
Even if you haven't seen it, I was just like, what are your thoughts on them being nominated and winning Best Animated Film of the Year against the people against the what the competition went up against?
Who you asking?
Oh, I was asking Mega. No, I said Mega.
Well, I didn't even know. Okay, what did you say now?
Oh, we got another Donald Trump on the Smash podcast.
Dallas
no.
right now.
Yeah, no, I know. I mean, but I heard some of it. What was you saying about what? Say it again.
I said, how do you? I was like, even though you haven't seen it, how do you feel about knowing that this film went up against the kind of the movies that it did against, like Wreck-It Ralph and you know, Incredibles 2, and won Best Animated Film of the Year?
Oh no, I mean that's a great accomplishment. I mean that's something. I mean it's still shocking to me that this game is getting. I mean this movie is getting so many accolades. I mean because I came in and just like Cognito's like. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, yeah, the Spider Pig and all the slobber. I ain't feeling that. You know what I'm saying?
Don't be hating on Spider Ham.
I was just like, yeah, all right, yeah. I mean, I might catch that on. What you call it? I mean, you know, I'm just thinking of Homer Simpson, Spider Pig. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, so I'm just going from that. But I mean, I got to see it now because of the fact that everybody is talking really well about it. So I mean, I mean, a good movie is a good movie, regardless what it is, animation or not. So, I mean, if so many people that are highly critical and they love it, then of course this movie's got to have some sterner stuff. So, I mean, I'm gonna have to check it out.
All right, good stuff. Lemon, what are your thoughts on this?
Okay, y'all not gonna like what I say.
Oh.
I didn't see the movie. You know, I'm always in the movies. You know, I've been working a lot. I'm always on top of my movies.
Scary. Okay.
But
Incredibles
2 was garbage. Wreck-It Ralph wasn't that good either. Not to say this Spider-Man. I'm a big anime fan. You know, CG, Pixar, Disney. I love their work. I went to the movies and saw Incredibles 2 and wanted to shoot myself in the face.
Oh no!
And I'm going to say this for the record.
Guilty by association, fans?
No, because listen, you had that Incredible movie. We waited like 17 years, right?
Yeah.
And I get to the fucking movie. The movie was garbage. And I still bought the 4K Blu-ray because it's reference material from my hardware I got in my house. But the fact of the matter is, the competition that it had was terrible.
I was like, Well,
This
what
is a
about the
Half-Life
fact?
3 effect of The Incredibles
See,
2.
here's the thing. I was like, I think its biggest competition was Mirai. I think Mirai was its biggest competition. For those that don't know, Mirai was a really big anime film that was done by Momoro Hosoda. I was like, and that one was really well loved.
I'm gonna say this for the record. I don't know how you do it, Knuckles, but you must practice these Japanese names. This shit,
Facts.
yo, he
I'm a
just
country
dropped
boy. That
like-
shit don't
like
that shit
some
don't come out
regular
right.
word.
But
But
I say it.
Jesus Christ. But yeah, I'm gonna buy the Spider-Man, I already know, but we also gotta realize, besides the movie being good that everybody's saying, Marvel is on fucking flames right now. They're at 1,000. They can't do nothing wrong. So, you know, I'm pretty sure the big box office Spider-Man movie and Infinity War helped this movie with no problem. People ran to go see it because it's amazing. You know what I'm saying? But the competition, come on, man, them shits was not good. It's just the facts. I was in, I left the movie theater after Incredibles. Was like, what the fuck just happened? You waited all. Who wrote that story? They need to be fired. You can't go the way the Incredibles was at with the drama. That shit had nothing. It just was like, here you go, take your money, and you ain't getting another movie for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Even Marvel University was better than that shit, and that shit wasn't that good after the first monster movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. They're just putting movies together. They're supposed to be doing Toy Story 4. They better be writing a good movie, because you can't kill these classic movies. 1, 2, 3, knocking it out the park. You can't. Look what happened to the last Pirates of the Caribbean. Does anybody give a fuck? Nobody talks about it because it was garbage. Yeah, fuck the Incredibles.
This man on warpath.
I'm just saying, I'm a hard critic on movies when I'm a big fan of something. You know, y'all was killing Transformers, and I agree with everything you say.
Absolutely. When you got
when you're a fan of something, you expect a certain thing. Incredibles was not good. The fuck? You want me to just be biased?
Oh no!
Yeah.
No, I agree. Like,
lost.
I enjoyed Incredibles 2 just because I remember watching the first one when I was younger, and I was excited just to see the continuation, even though it came like almost 10 years later. Like other things. Like I said, the biggest competition, like I said, the biggest competition for this film was Mirai by Momota Hosoda, because he was the director who did Wolf Children, Summer Wars, The Girl Who Leapt Through Time. He did the original Digimon movies, all right? And he also did The Boy and the Beast. I was like, these are very big anime films that are well loved, and what he did with Mirai was also just as amazing. I was like, that was their biggest competition. But again, don't knock what Pixar has done in the past. I was like, yeah, it may not been to their standard, but it was still really good. And same with what they did with Wreck-It Ralph, because Wreck-It Ralph got a lot of people because a lot of the references and pop culture in there. A lot of people liked a lot of the references in there and said that's what should have been in Ready Player One.
Real Player One,
because it had a.
Wait,
I did love Ready Player One.
It was awesome.
Don't get me wrong.
It
was awesome.
And it's very underrated. I watched that shit on Cody.
Yeah. I went and actually rented the Blu-ray of that because of the fact that
I should have went to the movie theater because I didn't think that movie was gonna be anything. That was the stunner for me. That was you seen them Spartans getting busy. You seen Iron Giants come back. Yo,
hey man, the Gundams,
right? That movie. Matter of fact, I'm gonna order that right now. That movie was underrated.
It was disrespected just because it wasn't like it just wasn't like the book. I was like, no, they had to update it. I was like, yes, it had a lot of references.
But you have all this anticipation for the Incredibles, and the long wait. The wait was incredible. And when you go see it, you're like, what the fuck?
Okay, Lynn, why didn't you like it? What were you expecting out of Incredibles 2?
Oh, okay.
I want to know.
I was expecting a better villain, more drama. The baby was funny, but they made it more like a comedy.
Nice.
You understand? The first Incredibles has some drama to it. That shit started off cutesy, and then it turned into a problem. Superheroes dying.
Oh, it got real
Right.
quick.
The second one, you like, she's sneaking out. The father's a nobody now. Now the wife is just the fucking
Nobody.
I'm like, it's not about one person in the Incredibles. It's the whole family. So you took the family aspect of it and made it about the wife. Nobody cares about her as an individual. Does anybody care about the Fantastic Four if they're not together? No. The whole thing about the Fantastic Four is them combining all their skills together to make the Fantastic Four. Nobody wants to watch a Thing movie. Nobody. Or Johnny Storm movie. Nobody wants to see them without the other counterparts. That's what I'm saying. They took the element of what made the Incredibles popular, and look, it didn't do well. It was all right. You don't see people like, oh my God, the Incredibles is back. Nobody, nothing. When I went to movie theater, was the night at launch, it didn't even sell out. So I'm just saying. I mean, I ain't being too hard. I'm just saying what happened. All Incredible fans, please tell me if I'm wrong about the story of the Incredibles and how they portray the family.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree.
Right. So when I go see the movie and they got the mother, she's like the end all be all. I'm like, okay. What about the rest of them? They being babysat. The fucking baby got 5,000 powers.
You're not wrong. You're
right.
Not wrong.
It just was all over the place, and that's not what I expected.
Yeah, they made Jack a plot device pretty much throughout the movie.
He tried to fill in all the gaps. He's like super everything. Oh, he has this. He's invisible. We got laser beams now, and how we go? Oh my God,
that dude's a crayon box of powers at this point.
Right. And what's the little scientist chick that be making the suits? She was a detriment part.
Edna Mode.
Right. She didn't even exist in this movie. She just was there. Okay, I still bought it. I support it. I paid in the movie. I bought the 4K, whatever. I didn't even watch every movie I get. Every movie I purchase, I'm a big movie person, big sound effect person, big screen person. I need to be able to watch this movie over and over again and enjoy it. I don't just buy movies just to say I own it. I'm not one of those people. I love to I used to go to sleep to Blade every night for about 4 years straight.
We know about your Blade obsession.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. The Matrix, the same thing. So I'm a movie person. So when I go in there enthused and I fucking spend $20 on some popcorn and a soda because I'm hype, because I damn sure don't do that on a movie I don't know nothing about. But when I go in there with a big bag of popcorn, a giant ass soda, that means I want to be entertained. I want to be pulled into the screen. That shit, I was like, what the? I didn't even finish my popcorn. That shit was horrible.
Woo! Those Rams going to the.
I'm sorry if I went on a rant.
Yes, the Rams won again. I mean, the Rams winning, baby. They had the most offensive yards in NFL history today.
And you still on that Rams talk in the middle of all this?
Hey, man.
Hey, guess what?
Hey, man, I'm over here saying,
say it for the sports podcast.
Hey, man.
Say it for the sports podcast.
I'm just saying, I'm just happy. I'm happy.
I know you are.
Long overdue.
Like I said,
Long overdue.
I'm okay with Rams beating the Cowgirls. I was like, I don't care about that. I was like, all to them.
Just not on the show.
Just not on the show. Like you tell me, time and a place. Time and a place.
Oh, who saw the Spider-Man movie in here?
Oh, I did.
It was awesome.
I did.
Oh, it was great, man.
Yes, it was amazing.
I'm gonna make it happen Tuesday. I'm gonna try to make it happen Tuesday.
I'm gonna see Bumblebee first.
Yeah.
I might go see both.
Yeah, I'm gonna go see Bumblebee tomorrow.
$7 Tuesdays.
Also, I was like, but before we continue on from there, because it's getting late and I know everyone got stuff to do and go from there. So we got to get on with this house stuff. But guys, we are not going to have a show next week because of the fact that I will be attending PAX South. So do be expecting some stuff live from that. I was like, but I will be here in SA going live and doing some stuff there. So if you're not following me on Twitter, make sure you are, as well as follow my Instagram. I was like, I'll be posting up random stuff that I see. Of course, I'll be catching up with some other people out there. some of the boys from the Tick Network. You'll be seeing me maybe doing some stuff with them, as maybe catching up with some other YouTubers and stuff like that I might see around. You never know. Just keep looking. But before we get out of here, I want to make sure everyone gets to say their word. Cognito, my boy, tell them where they can find you at.
Yo, you already know, bloody. Yo, first of all, shout out to the Smash, man. I had a good time. You know what I'm saying? Mega Lemon in the building. You know what I'm saying? So we had some fun talking that talk. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate what you're doing, bro, because at the end of the day, this is a lane that nobody ain't talking about. You know, we got the movies, got the anime. You know, I'm frauding for the anime. I'm not even here for that.
It's okay. It's okay.
I'm here for that transfer.
Hey, I make sure that you're taken care of.
I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you catered your topics to my lack of knowledge. So I respect that. But real talk, man. You already know what it is. Lord's every day. Sunday is the Lord's day. So 1 p.m. Eastern. We got my boy Maka Productions, man. The achievement guy. You know what I'm saying? Good dude in the community, makes those guides and stuff like that. We're gonna talk some gaming. We're gonna talk about that Bungie split. We're gonna talk about a lot of topics, and we may have a special guest that might give us some a little cameo as well, that might give us some extra knowledge on the legality of the split and what that could mean moving forward. So stay tuned for that. It should be lit.
I wonder who that could be.
You never know.
You never know. You never know.
You never know. It's, it's the people just pop through a round table every now and then. But man, check it out, man. Obviously, you already know the Destiny Show, The Last Word. We just did the rename. My boy Ebontis. That's on Fridays. That's usually in the morning, 9 a.m. But definitely check out the round table. You already know King, Solve, Addict will be in the building. And thanks again, bloody, for having me come through. Like Smash, we're gonna do this up. I'll get y'all in the realm as well.
Always. It's always good to have my family over there from the realm come over. You and David always getting out here. I need to tell you, you need to talk to your boy Kai. Kai, if you listening, I need you, my brother. I was like, I need my anime man out here. I was like, I had Addict and he had some fun.
Yeah, Kai is perfect for your show. Like, this is his lane. He knows all of this. Like, I go to him. He's my source material. So, like, he gonna do it. I spoke to Kai Bot, so we gonna get him to come out because he be in the cut. He don't like to be in the public eye. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I know, because me and him spoke on in the DM, and he's just like, man, he's like, I'm glad you want to come at me. He's like, I'm a behind the scenes kind of guy. I was like, man, I need you out here.
Get him. All you gotta do is go at something he loves. He gonna defend it crazy. He gonna say whatever anime he likes.
Hey, then let him know that I wanted to talk about the Super Broly movie. I was like, that's coming out next week, and I'm gonna be seeing it 3 times.
Oh yeah, I am excited about watching that. I'm very excited.
But I mean, I'm
excited about watching an anime of some superficial Chinese, Japanese characters, and you ain't watched Black Lightning,
bro.
No, don't do this. This is how you gonna send them out.
Look, man, I ain't watched no Dragon Ball Z in a while, but man, that new Broly stuff look off the chain, bro. I'm not even gonna lie.
But legit, I'm legit. I am seeing that movie 3 times next week because I already bought 3 different tickets. I'm going on Friday first thing in the morning, or Wednesday first thing in the morning to see the very first show. Then I'm going again on Thursday with one of my homegirls, and then I'm going again Saturday night with taking my cousin to go see it. So I'm going to know everything about that movie.
This man taking whole family with him.
If you don't like the movie,
I don't care.
Yo,
if I don't like it, then I'll be able to tell you why I don't like it.
3 times over.
3 times over. Facts.
To shout out to the boy Soul. I was like, but remember that boy saw Black Panther 5 times. I was like, I could see Super Broly if I wanted to see it more than twice.
5 times in the first week.
Damn.
Yeah, 5 times in the first week. He went every day.
Mm-hmm.
I saw it 3 times in a week.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, so don't even at me. Don't at me.
I didn't buy the tickets first though. You bought the tickets first. That's what I was saying. You bought the tickets if I,
He's scheduled everything out. He's permanent.
I pre-planned. I was like, I work my schedule. I was like, I don't like the last minute things.
Yeah, I agree. Who am I?
This is what I thought. Now, next up on the outros is I want to give it to the Kansas City King over here. Mega, tell them where they can find you at, brother.
Why do you keep saying Kansas City? It's Oklahoma City.
Oklahoma City, whatever.
God, see, I was going to say, hey, my bad for talking about my sports, but you know what?
It's you can't even get my city right, so I'm watching.
Yeah, you can't even get my city right, so he ain't even getting this podcast right.
All right, well, ejectocito.
That's fine.
Got a dictionary now.
Yeah, I try. You know what I'm
saying?
That's cool.
Megan, tell me where they can find you.
Ejecto seat. You gonna sit there and use it against me?
You gotta do your research.
Yeah. Anyway,
you gotta work on your hosting. You gotta know where your guests from.
I know.
I was like, Megan keeps saying different things. I can't remember things right now. Leave it alone.
I mean, it is OKC. I mean,
I don't. You know what?
Logo, bloody like. Come on.
Is it logo? Where is it in his logo? I don't see nothing.
Anyway, oh my God. Anyway, so regardless of that, man, you can catch me on the GRG podcast every Friday night. Definitely appreciate having, you know what I'm saying, being on the panel, man, having me to come on. You know what I'm saying, Lord Cognito, we definitely got to link up, man. You got to deal with I got to deal with you dudes, you and the Lords, man. You know what I'm saying?
That invite coming in the mail. Don't you worry.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So we got to collaborate. We got to do that. But everybody else, you know what I'm saying, operations, he's kind of like our rookie of the year right now. And then you know what I'm saying? What was it? Soul King, the other dude. You know what I'm saying? I told him, I said, kill him in the DMs after he said that trash.
Kill him off with his head.
He's the PC king. And you said you wanted to get different. You wanted to get different groups, and then you got a PC boy now.
Yeah, I was quick to say, send him to the house. But thank you so much, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing double duty. Just came off the next podcast, which is on the Xbox 448's channel on Saturdays. And of course, now, you know, my boy doing his thing in Smash, man. So yeah, we out.
Yes, sir.
Oh, definitely. Oh, look who shows up at the very end. Addict after he heard his name.
Addict just came through. What's up, bro? Okay, dude. You should have been here for anime stuff.
I was about to say he should have been here earlier when we called him out the first time.
Yep, absolutely.
Of course, I got to give it to my New York City boy over here. I'm glad that he showed up at the last minute. Drag it somewhere where they can find you at, my man.
Well, first of all, my boy Bloody been trying to get me on here. I've been working a lot, man. I'm kind of cutting it back, but I needed it. I needed this tonight because I'm sick as a dog, man. I usually don't do shit when I'm sick, but I had to. I was on my laptop and listening and supporting the podcast. I had to get involved. Y'all dudes is amazing. It was a good podcast. You can find me at 108 Dragons TV on everything. You already know how we do. GRG on deck, Smash Podcast on deck, Iron Lords on deck. You already know.
You already know.
Yeah, my boy Oppie Op. That's what I'm talking about.
Let's go.
All right, that's what I'm talking about. And of course, you on the channel. But before we go there, Op, you want to let them know where to find you at, even though you only got one thing?
He ain't lying. There's only one thing. You can find me on Twitter at Operation. Just keep it simple. Of course, on Smash Podcast, GRG hosting, helping out Mega and these panel members. But, you know, just holding down over there.
Yep. I say, Op, you always on that Twitter trolling, starting fires.
Your handle, fam. I don't know if I got your handle, fam.
Hold on. Yeah, I'll send it to you.
G is in the chat. What up? The driver.
The driver. The driver is in the house.
That's what's up.
Hey, shout out to G. I was like, he's been trying to get in there, but man, he's been busy with family stuff. But man, the dude's also sick. I mean, you thought you sick, Dragon, poor boy over there dying, like straight out. I was like, so
right there. That's a Jason Staten. That's our own personal Jason Staten, baby. That's what I'm talking about. The driver.
We already follow each other, so
just send me a tweet, bro. Just send me a tweet. I got you.
Yeah. And now, of course, everyone here on the channel, you already know what it is. Me, Bloody Knuckles, you're already on the channel. Of course, you can also find all the other social media, Facebook.com, Twitter, Mixer, as well as Instagram, all at Bloody Knuckles, with everything down below. You're going to see everyone's channels and all the links to their social media as well down in the description. So please check them out. If you didn't get all that, you'll be able to find them there. But I was like, love to all these dudes. I always love them when they come out here and just cut up with us and have a fun time, because that's what it all is. It's just bunch of nerds getting together, having fun, just talk about what we love. I was like, that's what I always treat this as, and I'm always glad when they can come out here. So do be expecting to see more of these guys throughout the year, as we're going to be doing things all over. And especially expect more out of what we do here, because I'm going to be trying to step up the production and everything that we got going on. So make sure y'all are following that and supporting us and everything that we do right now. If you aren't subscribed, please make sure you do. I don't say it enough. I was like the videos if y'all haven't. We're at almost 170 subscribers. I want to push to hit 200 before the summer. So please share this to everyone you'll know and get talking about this, because all we do is have fun here and just talk about what we love. So if y'all are loving it, they'll love it too. So please help us out with that. But from me to you guys, we're going to be out of here. So peace out and check you later.
Peace.
Peace.